Tonight, a primetime returns to the modern day Coliseum, and two men will do the ultimate battle, the ultimate test a warrior can endure. They will put it all on the line as the current champion looks to defend his PlayStation Championship against a rising talent. Entering the challenger B3 WordLife. A man who lives and dies by the sword, an aggressive striker who only knows one thing: what it means to bully his opponents. His relentless barrage punches and kicking game makes him one of the deadliest challenges to the champion's reign. I've said it all week, Smudger is losing that championship tonight. But in order for the challenger to bring gold back to his established camp, he must defeat one man. Enter the reigning, defended, undisputed PlayStation champion, NM Smudger, a competitor who's been moulded by the triumphs he has endured. That has not come without a price. Smudger, once losing the championship to another B3 member, has reached out and taken back what is his. In his mind, he's righted that wrong that should have never happened, and he's now on the fast track to another title reign, if he can win here tonight. Just another B3 lad that stands in my way. I'm about to crush his dreams. And so, with all that being said, competitors, fans, and viewers, sit back and enjoy as primetime returns after the holiday break, and it's time for some 2023 violence. Welcome to primetime!
What is going on, you beautiful bunch of savages? I'm your host, as always, Cyrus the Looney, kicking off this historic card on Primetime 81. Going to be joining me in the commentary booth, the ever mighty J-Dime TV and Mr. Humbledink. How you doing, lads?
Primetime 81 J-Dime, here we go. We're happy new year to everybody and welcome back to PT. We are a fresh J-Dime, we are ready, and we have a hell of a show ahead of us.
Man, I'm smiling from ear to ear. I miss primetime. I miss these great fights. I'm not gonna lie, it's been kind of boring without primetime. We have plenty of great fights today. We have Smudger versus B3 WordLife. Smudger only lost this season was to a B3 member, which was Cole. Ooh. So maybe B3 have the solution. Maybe, Doctor. Oh, I said Doctor. My bad, Doc. My bad, Doc. Humble.
Yeah, you're completely right. You are completely right. That interesting. It does add an element of interest, Cyrus, when you've got a B3 member that has beat the champion, as J-Dime said. You know, Cole beat Smudger in that shocking upset. He's only lost a season, and now he's going against his undefeated teammate. And WordLife is not only like one of those guys, he's 4-0 at the moment, but also he's one of the most fantastic competitors in the PlayStation division across the board, Cyrus. He does it everywhere.
Yeah, exactly right, brother. I mean, I was actually talking to Smudger a little bit earlier on today, around the kind of award that he recently won. So anybody that maybe hasn't seen it, through the Instagram, which you should definitely follow if you haven't already, and of course our Discords, which we announced it late last night. We had the Players of the Year announced for both the Xbox and the PlayStation side of things, and two men separated themselves from the pack. On the PlayStation side, that was the one and only NM Smudger, and one of the things that I was speaking to him about it going ahead into this fight out here, J-Dime, is that it's been a historic run for him, and he is kind of very, very close to setting records in the past. He obviously earned the Fighter of the Year in 2022 along the way, and he was able to avenge his only losses, which have actually been against the B3 camp themselves. So now, obviously, this is his final fight for right now. He will be taking a break away from competing in esports for the time being, at least, win or lose here this evening. But he's going to have to go against one of the toughest up-and-coming prospects on the PlayStation side of the equation. An undefeated prospect in that, a camp that has come against him time and time again, and obviously are familiar with what he brings to the table. So, I mean, I myself, brother, what a main event. What a way to kick off 2023.
Man, that's so crazy that he's going to take a break. Well, he deserves it because he had a crazy 2022. He almost looked unbeatable in 2022. If you remember, he was just running through all the competition. Then he got that one blemish on his record. So his workload has been crazy, and sometimes you need a break like that, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. And 10-0, and then losing that one fight it is crazy. But that being at the top of the event, we do have fantastic fights throughout the card. I think there's about 2 fighters that are not ranked in the top 50 or not top 25, I think, Cyrus, in the entire card. It's absolutely crazy. And you talked about him. He's going to be on there as well. Trixie versus Concept. Trixie's coming back. He got Fight of the Year, and he's coming back and fighting Concept.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, champion for a long section of that last year, the last 12 months. Of course, dethroned a number of times, but as his graphic says, quoting Dustin Poirier, he may have found himself on the ground, but got to pick yourself up very quickly, because the ground is no place for a champion. And that's exactly, kind of encapsulated his 12 months. He may have had some setbacks, but he has bounced back from those with a vengeance each and every time. And similar to what what I said about Smudger in the main event, he's now going against a very difficult rising prospect. The guy only lost 1 fight. I believe it was his first fight of the season. Came back with 4 straight wins, and of course, earned this opportunity against number 2 ranked, kind of competitor on the Xbox side, of course, former champion, record holder, what many would consider pound for pound GOAT. But honestly, this entire card, J-Dime, is going to be sensational. Of course, we're going to get right into it in a moment, but I just want to say, of course, going into this A2 active, not against his opponent that you see on the graphic. The first early prelims have both had replacements, so we have A2 active up against NM Mikey, and ICP Dragon up against DB Noble. These guys, of course, going to be going at it very, very early. We expect big things going into 2023, Jay. As the graphic said, we released some stats recently. We put over 1,500 fights on, and we had a 90+% finish rate throughout the entirety of 2022. That is some crazy fucking stats, bro. And I think 99% of that was.
Wait, say that again. How finish rate was what, Cyrus?
90%, brother. In fact, it was a little bit more. We undersold it a bit. I think it was like 92, 93%.
93. Man, that's like, if you have 10 fights in a car, how many fights we got? 16 tonight. That's saying that at least nearly every single one of these fights, barring 2 or 3, are going to be finishes. That's the prime time guarantee right there, J-Time, as we're going to. But you do know what that means, J-Time, don't you? The first KO of the year goes to that freaking tree. We've got some pullouts already, J-Time. So the first KO of this year goes to the tree, essentially. How do you feel about that?
Man, I don't know what you said, because I just disappeared.
You
just
did,
now.
brother. You
I
did.
just
I'll
disappeared.
get that sorted for us in a second. Something must have happened whilst we were loading in, but the cameras got underlined. But we will be back on those cameras any moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I seen J-Dime, but I didn't see J-Dime. All right, but yeah, this should start off the year great, though. This fight right here, because the first fight of the year sets the tone. If it's like a first round KO, that's going to set the tone for the rest of the card. So this is really important to the card. This one fight right here, Humble.
100%. And these guys are representing primetime in the first fight of the year. I said J-Dime, the tree got the first finish, but it is what it is. The McGregor, I know exactly. McGregor versus Masvidal, fantastic strikers. Both of these guys going to have good dexterity of tools to kind of use J-Time. And, we see these a lot of power in both of these guys.
Yeah, and in real life, this is a fight I really want to see, Humble. Yeah. I think eventually Conor should fight Jorge. The build-up would be really crazy, too. And I'd be going for Conor. But I can't pick a side for this fight, because obviously.
100%. I don't know if Cyrus is back with us, but if he is, this is it's going to be, we expect this to be a striking match, right? And I'm liking the head movement that I'm seeing from the guys, but you've got to be careful with that head movement, Cyrus. You can get caught in vulnerable situations when you do a lot of head movement.
Yeah, for sure, especially if your opponent starts trying to get some of those rounded shots out. And a lot of guys like to, try to really employ their jab early on to get your head off the center line so that they can start setting up those hooks. Obviously, preemptive head movement is kind of a little bit meta, but for a lot of people, at least, they seem to be using it. But as you can see, up against somebody like Mikey over here, he is throwing combo after combo, Jay, and he is not wasting any time getting off some really dangerous combinations.
Yeah, and I also think eventually Jorge would have to make the read on the slip hook, because that's the NM special right there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a nice performance so far. I'm liking what Mikey's doing. A lot of those guys in NM as well, we don't talk about enough, but they all kind of play with Conor McGregor, and they all got kind of signature moves, essentially, Cyrus. And it's something that must be helpful because you're sticking to one guy, you're all training with the same sort of physics and dynamics and power. So you can all, if you're all working on making that one guy better and sharing with each other, that must give them a massive advantage.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly right. I mean, iron sharpens iron, right? And sorry, I'm kind of getting a little bit caught off guard by the timing of Conor McGregor with that left hand. Obviously, it's a tool that they want to use out here. If you're picking Conor McGregor, that left hand is money, Jay. But the way he's been able to land it so far, I mean, he's finding money more often than not. Oh,
nice. Oh my gosh, he's victimizing the man. Dang, this look like this is Conor juiced up too. Y'all keep forgetting this is Conor off the juice, so he gets +10 to. Oh my goodness, the juice not going to make your chin any better though.
Mate, the juice fights back, and he goes a nice leg kick there. He's trying to get performance of the year on the first fight. Essentially, you know, this is a big sport. The first fight of the year for prime time MMA, and this is a big opportunity for one of these guys. But I've got a feeling, Cyrus, he's got to kind of take his time as well. He doesn't want to rush it because he did get ducked and hurt right there. If he got a finish opportunity, maybe he could have took it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, sometimes, or a lot of the time actually, these guys are most dangerous when they're hurt because you get a little bit overzealous. You start to overextend on some of those shots. But these guys seem to be kind of going pretty much like, I was going to say even other than the combos on your
Oh my goodness. Jesus. Man, he just ran the train.
He just started right off great.
He just ran the train on him. Oh my god.
Yeah, oh my god. What he did? What to him?
He ran the train on him, man. That was a 6 piece and a half, Cyrus.
Yeah, that was talking about kicking off 2023 with a bang. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. I hope he's an organ donor. Jesus Christ. Yeah, look at this.
That was an assault.
Oh.
That was an assault. They should have showed all the body shots. That was an assault at the end.
Oh my days. Mikey showing why he's about, putting his name on the map and just announced himself to primetime in hellish fashion.
I mean, I'm wondering, right? I know that we've got the guys in the back here, of course, that will be joining us on the analyst booth a little bit later on this evening. So I wonder if Doc or Pudgy, could let us know. Was that a debut? I believe it was.
I'm not sure if it was NM Mikey's debut, but Doc says it's a debut, yeah. So NM Mikey's announced himself into primetime in I don't know, I don't want to fight him, put it that way, Saxon, but you're a PlayStation competitor, and I'm thinking like, no, I'll keep away from that guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight him, bro. I wouldn't want to. No. But goddamn, what a way to kick off 2023. He came out there with killer instinct. Now, of course, I just still going to get those cameras sorted for a couple of moments. So you can see, guys, we didn't do it before we went into that first fight. We may as well do it now. We'll throw it to you first there, Humble. Out of this incredibly stacked card, of course, we've got the main event, the co-main event, which, of course, are ones to look out for. They're the reason that there's a reason that they are at the top of the card. But are there any others that stand out to yourself, guys?
There's many. One of the biggest fights for me, being one of the PlayStation guys, has got to be the guy who I fought last as well. Jay Diamond kicked my ass. So Kai Films versus TT. Oh, yeah. And that's going to be, as Reed would say, that's going to be a fantastic fight at the top of the bill right there in the bantamweight division on the main card. What do you make of that?
Huhu versus Kai Films should be a great match. Huhu is a really good fighter. I seen him fight recently, and Kai's really good himself. I seen what Kai did to you. So I feel like when you're, I feel like, yeah, you're the one who felt it. But pause. But I feel like you want Huhu to win in the back of your head.
No, I honestly don't care. No. I've got no sort of. Honestly, he performed well last week.
Are you sure? Because
yeah, definitely.
If someone did that to me, I'd hold a grudge. I would hold a grudge.
I want the best man to win. This is going to be a good fight for us, Jay. Like the way these two kind of fight as well, it kind of suits each other's styles. Huhu ranked number 5, Kai ranked number 8. It's going to have massive title implications going on in the future. So it's a big fight for the PlayStation division.
So, in reality, what Humble really meant to say was he wants Huhu to win. Like, everything he's saying sounds cool, but if someone whooped your ass, you don't want them to win. He's just saying all the right stuff.
Well, I tell you what, Jay, one fight that I am looking forward to, brother, is actually the next one up.
I was about to say that one. I was going to say that one. Sorry. That was my pick.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because we are actually ready to go into it. These guys are lobbied up. I hope everything is now fixed. There it is. There we are. Okay.
We're back.
Let's go, Derry.
We're back.
But it is the one and only
back,
DB Noble, taking on ICB's very own Dragon. Crazy Dragon at that. Is he still in ICB, actually, come to think of it? He is.
It's in his name.
He is in ICB.
Yeah.
Some people don't change their name. I remember somebody telling me that they left the camp, but they had it in their name. So just making sure. But I don't know if you've saw the shortlist. So I was putting together a shortlist of knockout of the year contenders. I don't think he quite made it, but Dragon was on that shortlist. He landed. He's just a guy that, like, honestly, I always say that he was part of a camp called Technical Pressure. He corrected me and told me that he wasn't, but he trained with a lot of those guys. I'm pretty sure he's fought like with Great Mist and the like, and he brings a crazy type of pressure with his hands. Honestly, he lets it go, and the combinations that land are absolutely crazy. Man. It blisters the block and chops away at that head health real quick, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what we're going to be looking out for. But look at this approach already. He has turned into Matt Hughes and he's going for suplexes J time. And George Masvidal has been training with Bo Nickel and the likes of them. So, he's been going at it.
I know he trained with Bo Nickel, but he looked like Bo Nickel there. I've never seen Jorge do that in my life. UFC, what is wrong here, Cyrus?
Oh, brother.
Where's Bo Nickel, by the way? You said they were going to put him in the game. What the hell?
Boy, they lied to you.
They lied. I know everybody. And you look at, he's got the crucifix, Cyrus.
I mean, that is super early to have the crucifix. And ICB Dragon is a really well-rounded fight. Obviously I was talking about his pressure, but he originally was a grappler. So it's interesting to see Noble, especially one of the DB boys, take it to the ground. Obviously they've clearly been working on that area of their game. We've seen a couple of them do it recently. And as you see, shuts down that first transition out here, Jay, and getting the ground and pound off the boot.
Oh!
So if Jorge would perform like this on the ground, he may be champion. I didn't know Jorge could grapple like this until today, Humble.
Yeah, it looks like he's not. I don't know. It looks like he's took an injection or something. He's on the juice or something. This is like when Francis Ngannou came out and started stuffing Miocic's takedowns, and you were like, "What the hell?" Like all of a sudden, you were like, "This guy can grapple. He's a problem." But nice to see them back on the feet. You've got to waste a bit of stamina as well on the ground, though, if you're Masvidal. So I can't see him taking it to the ground too many times. Maybe he's just kind of trying to win the first stages of the round and then kind of win the end of it, and that's what it looks like it's trying to be right now.
Yeah, I mean, it also makes your opponent, right, a little bit hesitant to throw their kicks at the occasion anyway. Good kick, and kind of knows that it's quite easy to get the takedowns from that. But Noble might just be mixing it up. Obviously, if you take your opponent down, makes them worry about that as well. Maybe sets up the hands a little bit later.
Yeah, I think this is what I think. The reason Jorge's doing this, he's asserting his dominance. He's showing you can't mess with me on the feet or the ground. So Anthony Pettis isn't thinking about taking it to the ground now because Jorge's dominating this position. So he only got one route to win, Humble.
Yeah, and he's getting good positions as well. This is going to result in a stamina loss and doesn't quite take advantage of it. Tries to get down, but doesn't quite get it. Tries to go for the transition, gets back out of it, and now he's in a bit of a better position, Cyrus. He could have been in real trouble right there.
Yeah, it was a terrible position to be in. Good composure from ICB Dragon to, work his way out of it. But the story of this round so far has been Noble's ability to, just kind of do what he wants. It's at his own will at the moment out here, Jay, and he seems to be in the driver's seat.
Jorge Masvidal side control has never looked this strong. I've never seen it like this. He's been dominating them position specifically, side saddle and side control. He's been denying him out of side control with Jorge Masvidal, which is impressive, Humble.
This is the thing about good grapplers. If you're a great grappler who's confident in your ability, you don't have to pick grapplers. You can pick strikers and just dominate other people. So you can have the same advantage in the striking department, but you could also have that ground game for the dexterity, Cyrus, as you mentioned earlier on.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, sorry, brother. As we go into this next round, I mean, already Noble looking clean with the combinations.
Oh my God!
Timing, Jay. God.
Oh, he's gone for the takedown again. Oh my God!
This is the best grappling performance I've ever seen. Jorge ever have though, but he has to get out of this. He has to get out of this. Dang, I forgot what this is called. I've been gone for so long.
Oh, rubber guards, yeah.
It's rubber guard. Oh my gosh, I just forgot about everything.
I've done it once now. It is what it is. But this is where you don't want to be if you're Hallway, right, J-Time?
Man, this is time for Anthony Pettis to assert his dominance now. And I know he want to because he got dominated grappling. He said, let me show I'm really the better grappler because he spent most of this fight on his back.
I mean, once again, I did say Crazy Dragon is pretty known to be good on the mat himself. Submissions are generally more the way for him. The ground and pound seems to be trying to cinch one up right here, but the defense kind of holding up, Humble, kind of. But
yeah, he's just getting the timing, isn't he? Like any good submission artist, if you want to know how to do submissions, you've got to go for a few. You've got to understand your opponent's pattern. The more information that you get about submissions, the better it's going to be later on in the fight if you've got a plan to kind of get your opponent's stamina down, things like that. A lot of good grapplers have a couple of attempts before they have one real one and commit to it.
Oh, nice denial. I'm telling you guys, Jorge's been working on his grappling with Bo Nickel, and it's paying off. Maybe not against Kobe. Never mind. I got to be quiet, Cyrus.
I mean, he takes his back, looks to go for another submission. He has got his stamina low. The last one was pretty good considering it was the first attempt, and the submission bar doing a little bit better this time. I think he's going to commit to it.
Yeah, I think he is, and yeah, he's definitely he's not. I'm sure he's going to go back to he's going to get out now. He's going to push his arm out slowly, and then be in guard. But Pettis in guard is not bad. Pettis has got a few options there. Rubber guard. He's actually got quite a few submissions, but you can't go first like that, J-Time.
Yeah, he can't. And I never thought Jorge Masvidal versus Anthony Pettis would be a grappling match. I never in my life imagined that, Cyrus.
Crazy.
They say it right that when you get two grapplers, they often end up just kind of fighting it out on the feet. These guys are two strikers, and they've gone the opposite way. But I have to say, even still, he was landing some great combinations on the feet. But he just took it down. I can understand why. To be honest with you, Humble, you do damage on the feet, you take it down, and he's in the driver's seat for 90% of this. A couple of submissions here and there, but he's doing his thing really.
100%. But I'm gonna say something as well. You've got to try and get a finish because in this league, the way the league is structured is you get more points for finishes earlier on in fights as well. And if we have a 92% finish rate, that means the competition against you is very high. You don't want to be in the 8% for the decisions, Cyrus. You want to be in that 92 because everyone else is getting extra points everywhere. So even if you get a few wins, you're gonna have to get a few more wins to try and get a title shot or get right up there, essentially.
Oh, exactly right. And obviously, there's two mentalities that Noble could have. He could say that I'm in the driver's seat, I'm going to go out here, prove a point, and get a finish. Or he could say, this is my fight to lose. And you never know against somebody like Crazy. Goddamn Dragon, Jay.
Oh, my God.
They should have let him finish. They should have just let him get flashed off that. Because that sequence was beautiful.
He's still got to get over that adversity. He ducks that one, though, and he's got to be careful because it takes one to come back. You're expecting the grappling to come any second now from Masvidal, but Anthony Pettis is starting to land those combinations and catch his opponent in the spot, Cyrus.
I mean, he had a huge explosion of combinations that landed there, or strikes that landed. Masvidal still, due to the stamina, in a very good spot as he gets a rock, trying to get the finish after that there. But gets clipped!
Anthony Pettis, oh my God.
He's got a body! He's got a body!
Finish him! He's going to... No, he may finish. Hold on. What is he going to do?
It was too... he's got him!
God.
Oh, the knee!
Come on, he's got a rally. This is it.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. He's gone. He's out of here.
He got him.
Oh,
he got
Jesus.
him. That's the prime time guarantee. And he got his rage kit. And he rage quit. Guys, check that rage kit over there. Jesus.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at that.
Yo.
Man.
Dang.
Oh, my God.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. What a comeback.
Look, my heart goes out to Noble, but god damn, you gotta watch your P's and Q's against Crazy motherfucking Dragon. That guy is a savage out here, Jay. A savage, man. In that third round to turn it around. I mean, that is... Put it in your notebooks right now, everybody, because that is early contender for a fucking comeback of the year. He was getting his ass beat for a good section of that fight.
That's how you get a bonus. That's how you get a bonus right there, because he just came back and he, excuse my French whooped his ass that last round and finished him. At one point, I thought maybe this is going to go to decision. He said, no, hold my beer, and put him out of his misery.
Yeah, he had those. He got the points as well, so he got the finish. Doesn't matter if you're losing 2 rounds if you win in the third by KO, because 1, you've not got a decision, and 2, you've got extra points because you've got a KO, and nobody cares about the last 2 rounds. But that's what made it so good. He managed to rally, come back, catch his opponent, and eventually put him away after kind of suffering in those first 2 rounds. Fantastic performance from Dragon early this year.
Yeah, that couldn't be any better. These guys, Jesus, man, they're kicking off this night in some crazy style. 2 fights, 2 finishes. Both guys obviously trying to get active at the beginning of the season, trying to make a name for themselves, and they're doing just that. And up next is guys that are in a very similar spot, Jay, at this point in the season, ranked number 22 and ranked number 25 in the PlayStation side. It is going to be the one and only Moolah up against M7. Both guys ranked 2 and 1 this season. We actually saw from the last season in the intro one of Moolah's KOs that this guy has a lot of style to the way he plays, and M7 believes that he's got the tools to dismantle that.
Yeah, 100%. And Jay, this guy's got dexterity when he throws combinations. He throws combinations, and then middle of a combination, kind of have a slip in there, have a pull in there, something like that. And knowing you're gonna fire after the 1-2. We call it rhythm changing in boxing, but Jay, when you throw a jab and they throw a jab, you throw a jab, they throw a jab, and obviously you get in the time and used to it. He does the same thing with 1-2s and then catches you as you're thrown back with some crazy head combination. It's fantastic to watch him kind of implement that into this game.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. He has beautiful offense too. And we get Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz again. I always love that fight. We get the 3rd fight tonight, fellas. This is where they settle it all. It is 1-1.
Never a boring one. Never a boring one with these 2 guys in the cage. They're going to start out very quickly. As you can see, Moolah believes in that head movement and already starts to attack the body. Smart move early here.
Nice. Oh.
Yeah, 100%. And just a massive shout out to everybody who's tuned in tonight. To Pudgy for subscribing for 13 months, and everybody who's just dropped biddies. King Jon Snow, you're absolute legends. You make this community, but what a fight we have right now. As they said, the rematch or the triple, or the
trilogy?
The trilogy. We got that, Jay. The trilogy is happening right now, and Nick Diaz is going to show up in shape in this one.
Honestly, his combinations right now, Jay, he has been absolutely lightning, attacking the body with, honestly, beautiful combinations. Lawler's recognized it, though, and he is trying to time a couple of uppercuts. I mean, power v kind of a little bit more speed, the endurance of Nate Diaz. Jesus, man. It's a shame we've only got 3 rounds.
Yeah, this isn't the same Nick Diaz I seen last time he fought Robbie Lawler. He looks like he's in shape. This is Nick Diaz, prime Nick Diaz, maybe plus 10 to all attributes. He looks good right now, Humble.
Yeah, this looks like Nick Diaz when he fought Paul Daly, those beautiful boxing combinations, going to the body, going to the head. And I'm looking, the positioning so far for both of the guys has been centre of the cage. I'm looking for Moolah to try and back him up towards the fence to try and get, the extra damage and the pressure. But he's kind of letting him give space, coming at shots still. But I'm looking for the pressure from Moolah to really kind of take his opponent out.
It's the body work for me, bro. I know I've mentioned it 3 times already, but within the last 3 minutes, the amount of combinations he has ripped to that body, like midstream, is I mean, it's beautiful, and you can see it's already starting to have a little bit of an effect, and you know that the recovery is going to be better for Diaz as well out here. I mean, he's off to a lightning start right now.
Yeah, he got to move his head. Robbie is getting his block broken too, and every time he throws a straight, it hits him.
Exactly that, and I'm liking honestly, it's the rhythm for me from Moolah. He doesn't have like a normal rhythm. If you watch the way he kind of throws combinations, it's all about timing. His timing is his kind of weapon.
Oh, man.
That's an excellent point, though. He does fight in a rhythm, and you can tell that, obviously once he's getting into that flow state, it's quite hard to kind of derail him quite evidently.
Exactly, and people don't understand it, kind of. They don't really get what we're talking about sometimes when we mean rhythm. And all we're trying to say is that when people throw one shots, it doesn't matter about your rhythm. Fuck your rhythm, M7 says.
He has power. Fuck the rhythm.
Oh my days. Oh, he comes back though. Here comes the rhythm. Here comes the rhythm. He's coming back. Oh. It's all.
Oh, and
Great
it's
fight,
over.
man. Great fight.
Yeah. Beautiful work from Moolah. Like,
Comes the rhythm.
we weren't going into the rhythm, we're describing the rhythm, but Moolah showed us. M7 was like, I'm sick of your fucking rhythm. He's a big power shot, and Moolah eventually gets it done, but not without his first CJ.
Man, great performance from Moolah. That was a statement right there. He got stunned one time, but besides that, it was a beautiful performance, almost flawless. He got in his rhythm, and he was just flowing. He looked good in there. Shout out to Nick Diaz, and shout out to Moolah for a great victory.
Yes, sir. One of the best he's looked in quite some time, man. That guy's got... He's got some knockouts on his resume now, Jesus. The guy continues to deliver each and every time he steps into that octagon. A big one for him, man, starting out the year like that. Like I said, getting those extra points that we always talk so much about, Humble. Got to feel very, very good for him.
Well, 100%. I was just about to say, we're 3-0 for the year for finishes tier time, right? So I wonder how long this streak can go tonight, because it's got to be a decision at one point. But, you know, I wonder how long the streak can go for finishes tonight, because Prime Time has this guarantee. We have a 90% finish rate. I just want to kind of see how far tonight goes with these finishes. Am I greedy?
Man.
Am I greedy?
Nah, you're not. We all want to see finishes. We don't want to see decisions the whole time. And if we can get all finishes tonight, it'd be a flawless card.
Next event, there'd be like pressure on.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Anyway, that was a fantastic. Already we've got fantastic fights, but you know it's quick. It's the third fight this evening, and those guys who are fighting each other are very highly ranked already, and we're gonna have more of that because now we got Frosty MMA versus Kante Cyrus. I believe if his graphic is correct. Am I right?
So the fight itself there. Sorry, did you say Kante? Yeah, Kante. Sorry, BFAP Kante. Yeah. So we got BFAP Kante. Obviously, the BFAP camp absolutely been sensational in the last 12 months. Put fantastic work in. We obviously mentioned that one of their members won Fight of the Year, but of course we see a little bit later on this evening that one of the other more notable members of BFAP, Dirty Dave, is of course fighting for another Xbox Championship up against a very tough competitor, of course, but this is one of his teammates. Kante is a more recent addition to the camp. He's been very active last year and he's looking to put it all together here this evening. He is going to need to do that because from everything I hear, Frosty MMA is here to put on one hell of a show. He wants to make a name for himself and his camp, which is Regicide, new camp coming onto the scene, and they expect big things. They've been training, from what I hear, with actually, funnily enough, Dirty Dave, as well as a couple of the EK guys, and they believe they have all the tools to make a splash here in Primetime MMA. Frosty wants to start 2023 by making that point with Kante.
We will see. My bad, Humble. But we will see. We will see if their camp will make a splash. It starts here. This is the beginning of the year. Everything starts here.
Yeah, it's a new year. It's a new camp. You know, we don't have enough. And we're going to have another sort of camp come through the ranks and essentially compete. Hopefully they can build a nice roster and, you know, compete with the best. Because N versus Holloway, I don't know how I feel about this, Cyrus, but it's 4-star. We forgot about that as well. It's 4-star for the prelims. So these guys have got to pick 4-star fighters. And obviously the choice you've got there, you've got the BJ Penn, one of the old GOATs, you know, of the...
Well, I just hope it is the old GOAT BJ Penn, not the...
Oh, against
the
Max.
Barroom Brawler, but...
Yo. Against Max? What the heck?
I mean...
my bad. It just looked weird to me just not saying it.
Legend BJ Penn, though. Legend BJ Penn's not bad.
My bad.
And it's like,
I thought this was BJ Penn now, like the last few times we seen him.
No, he's retired. He's I think he's obviously we talk about fighters in their best sort of areas. His is the ground, you know, he's got great jiu-jitsu, he's a black belt, and he's got fantastic school and a great practitioner, great wins over people by submission and knockout as well. Sometimes though on the feet he's a bit static.
Yeah, he you know, he's the prodigy for a reason, man. This guy's sensational on the mat. He kind of talk to everything very naturally and run with it throughout his entire career. I mean, the fact that this guy does not get cut or bruised in any way, shape, or form, Jay, goes a long way as well. But it's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with some of the reach of Holloway unless he wants to just keep ducking head kicks like that, in which case he may be onto money.
Man, I'm scared for BJ Penn right now. You're facing Max Holloway and the output of Max Holloway, but if he mix in the grappling and make it a fight, not just a striking match, make it a fight like that, he can have some real success, Humble.
Yeah, he needs to do some work right now. He's got 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go, and he needs to show Prodigy sort of kind of maybe getting the stamina down, tries to make a mistake, but he's just going for elbows right there, which is not a bad idea, but you're going to leave your stamina low, going to leave for transitions. We'll see how Holloway handles the ground and pound, Cyrus.
Did a good job. Instantly blocked his body. Obviously, Frosty seems to have the plan to attack the body early, which is a good move against anybody using Max Holloway. Obviously, the cardio is incredible out there, Jay. But obviously mixing in the grappling, which is as Humble was saying, one of the better areas of BJ Penn's game. I think a very, very smart move is if he can keep it down here, of course.
Exactly. Like I said, he cannot let it be just a striking match. Make it a full MMA match. Mix in that great jiu-jitsu has like that. Mix in that grappling, Humble.
I like that transition. It's a beautiful transition. You don't really see it much in real life, but it looks beautiful in the game. And he's going to get to top man right now. And just to mention as well the records of these guys, undefeated fighter with BJ Penn at the moment and Frosty. And then you've got Kante hanging on to his 25 spot fighting, and this guy's undefeated. It's got to be tough because you break that top 25 and essentially you start to fight them big fights in the main card, Cyrus. So it's a lot of pressure being in that position.
100%, brother. 100%. I mean, right now, doing this sort of work early, it's only going to play dividends for him. Obviously, he has the confidence of an undefeated fighter right now. Frosty does, 1-0 in the promotion, so he doesn't want to let that go. He's making all the right steps. Obviously, Kante is a good challenge out here for anybody, Jay. Guys, currently running at 7-7, and joining BFAP is only going to help improve his overall skills and abilities, but I mean, obviously, he's going to have a little bit of frustration, right, I would imagine, coming into the next round due to the way that Frosty was able to control him on the mat.
Yeah, BJ Penn did a great job controlling him, making it an MMA match, not just a striking match. But like you say, Kante trains with BFAP. That's his camp. They're a bunch of killers. So he's used to going against killers every single day. So he should know the proper adjustments to make, Humble.
Exactly. He says keyword right there, and we're going to say a lot for tonight because it's a keyword that we find, that we come across. Adjustments are key in primetime MMA. You see them a lot. I don't see them, honestly, in other esports leagues, but with us, we see a lot of comebacks, a lot of people getting told what to do, a lot of people using the experience and tutelage of other fighters who are in high positions. And that's exactly how you grow. So you'd be crazy not to use a BFAP member to try and coach him during the corners, kind of give him some advice, Cyrus. And something we want to look at in the future as well. These guys talking to each other, it'd be interesting to listen to that.
Yeah, definitely, bro, definitely. The way that once again, the way that Frosty is fighting is that of somebody who is supremely confident in their abilities. Kante does need just to, as we spoke about in the last fight, intercept him. That's what he needed, bro. He needed to test him, get his opponent, get his confidence, maybe a little bit knocked, right? And what better way to do that, Jay, than get a stun?
Yeah, he let BJ Penn get comfortable. He didn't let him do that, but since BJ Penn was comfortable, he was susceptible to getting hit with that spinning elbow because everything was going right, and you just don't expect that, Humble.
Yeah, you don't at all. And it's the way BJ's moving his head. If you watch BJ's head movement, he's constantly entering the pocket, usually with a jab and then some sort of head movement to avoid a strike. So when he's throwing his hooks, when he's throwing his uppercuts, they're not landing. BJ Penn has got him hurt right now, and this is the BJ Penn of old, Cyrus, the one who knocked out Carlos Uno, one who knocked out Jens Pulver.
Unrelenting, non-stop pressure. He may be getting a finish in the near future. There's 2.5 minutes here, Jay, and he sits him down again.
Why don't kick by accident? He just threw a lazy body kick by accident when he was already on the cage. That shouldn't happen, but he's looking good. This is prime BJ Penn. Somebody need to test him right now, Humble.
Yeah, he wasn't throwing a kick. He was just doing a Michael Jackson spin around for you there, J Dime. Just showing off. And here we go. It's a new taunt in the game. But BJ, sorry.
No, sorry, bro. I was just going to say lead hook body straight. He's gone to it over and over again, setting up the overhands. The check hook. It is all money for Frosty.
Because
it's over, fellas. It's over. It's over.
And then a merciful stoppage right there, Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, That's 4 knockouts.
4-0 for finishes.
Bro. Yeah, 4-0 for finishes right now. Frosty MMA doing himself and Regicide very, very proud. I mean, coming out the gates quickly, brother. 2-0, Jay. 2-0, bro.
I'm telling you, he looked good. BJ Penn looked flawless. Somebody needs to drug test him. This is not the BJ Penn that we've seen the last few years. This is the best BJ Penn I've seen in my life, guys.
He got progressively better as well. He was like a Diaz brother there. He started off okay in the first round with some grappling and doing all right. But in that second round, as soon as he got hurt, if I remember correctly, Cyrus, and then he turned it on and just started, and now I'm going to take over now, and did.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. I mean, I am loving the pace of this evening's fights. The knockouts continue to come thick and fast. We don't know what the record for it last season was, Jay, but we're going to try and set some records this season either way. As he said, how far it can go, I reckon we can get a full card of finishes. The lineup would suggest exactly that, my man. Bone doing work is actually up next. A man that likes to get those hands working. Jorge Masvidal, Maine, looking to utilize him here again this evening. But he is going up against one of the old guard and also the new Pigeon Scout, returning to the scene. Had a great run at the start, 3-0 to start with, went on a 2-fight skid, now finds himself coming up against 2-0 Bone and Work, trying to stop Bone when he's on the tracks, I suppose, to maybe some bigger things.
Yeah, definitely. And Jay, like these two fighters, currently ranked number 17, Bone doing work in Pigeon Scout, number 21. We're already into the 20s, Jay, and there's tons of fights left. These guys are literally 2 or 3 fights away from a title fight, essentially, if they win the next. Bone doing work is currently undefeated as well, by the way, number 17.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You know what he just said, Humble? Do you know what he just said in the chat? I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Fear no evil. That's what he's quoting.
Diego Sanchez right there.
He's got the mentality down. He's ready to go, bro. I'm interested to see it. I'm telling you, Pigeon Scout is a genuine threat. It does say 2-0 there, of course, from whatever OWCs or maybe spars, but if we've seen anything from him recently, that he has completely revolutionized his game out here, Jay. I mean, but Bone is that same old killer, bro. Same old killer with those hands.
Yeah. But think about this. He said, I walked through the valley of the shadow of death. They said he's saying a prayer. He's not saying a prayer for himself. He's saying it for his opponent.
Exactly. I was about to say,
Bone
doing work is doing his best best sort of walkout. It's his walkout of the Undertaker, essentially, doing that there. You know, that's how people set themselves aside in that chat right there. They get in touch with each other and talk some crap sometimes, but him doing his best impression of the dead man.
Well. Starting out quickly, I don't know if you noticed the first kick of the fight, the first strike of the fight was checked by Conor McGregor. He's trying to use that jab to interrupt the forward pressure of Bone doing work, and it seems to have worked so far out here, Humble. But these guys are obviously finding a tactical approach, taking a tactical approach against each other. There's a lot of mutual respect on both sides of the
Nice. Yeah, he's took it. Oh, we're going green screen.
Going
green screen. Going green screen. Is it the same one as last time? It might be, but who knows? Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if these guys are okay or if they're going to let us go into the slime. Nice work. He pushes him back right there, though, with that jab, and he gains good control of the octagon again, like something that people don't understand too well. There's a lot of straight punches at the moment, though, J-Dan.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. A lot of 1-2s, a lot of 2-1s, just a lot of straights, and nobody is slipping, Cyrus.
Yeah, I think that these are the types of guys that, as I mentioned, I think it was in the first fight, when you use the jab and you use the straights, you know, obviously you're trying to get your guy to move.
Here, it's the Matrix.
I think they're trying to set it up, I suppose is what I'm saying, trying to force each other to utilize some of that head movement. But at some point or another, you've got to go for it out here, Humble, because otherwise you're going to continue to eat those shots down the barrel.
Yeah, it's a patient game, though, as well, because the first person who goes kind of falls in the other one's trap, you know, so I like what Bone doing work is doing with the leg kicks. Something different, like they're kind of even with the straights and the head movement and trying to get each other to kind of slip the head off the center line and make a mistake. But Bone doing work is doing damage to the leg in between those as well. So that's the extra part for me. He's currently landed those leg kicks, which is setting himself apart in this round.
Yeah, them leg kicks are nice too, and you got to think about it. This Conor with the titanium shin bone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's doing the old kickboxer scene. He is literally out the back, kicking shit out of the pillar, and he believes that he could put that shin through anything right now.
On the other hand, though, Cyrus, we see Anderson Silva come back with that titanium rod, and that didn't play out for him. So, you know, if he kicks and gets it checked, that Masvidal might be looking for that. And Bone doing work, maybe trying to exploit that. Imagine having a steel thing in your leg and getting kicked on it, and like the inside of you kind of hurting you and pinging the ball. That would hurt as well. So Conor McGregor kicking somebody, you know, he's got to be careful. He's got some issues in there.
Got some issues in there. It's crazy.
They better put the steel rod in his shin, by the way, when it comes out. You know, they better update that shin.
Yeah, they better do it. And then think about this. Conor don't have the same titanium shin bone as Anderson. Conor on something else. He got some extra juice in him right now.
Yes, I mean, I'm saying it's at least 50% stronger, I would imagine. I mean, the guy's got money, he's put it into that rehab.
Maybe more than 50.
Bro, it doesn't look all natural either, so this guy's come out here and, I mean, he's fighting on it like a juice performance here this evening as well. Bone doing work, though, using a lot of his composure to, you know, kind of land some good shit in this fight, basically, out here, Humble, but I have to say, those kicks were very, very nice. And you can see the stamina from McGregor, you know, the management of it was absolutely impeccable. Basically full, bro. Basically full.
Yeah, it is definitely, and he's starting to press forward now, which he's changed his game plan, right? They were both kind of backing up, throwing straight punches. Now you see the dexterity, a wide range of punches, and you've got, the timing, the movements from Bone doing work, trying to stay undefeated, tickling his opponent with the jab and the straight there, catches him, and then he doesn't tickle him. Spear from last down J time.
Yeah, he looked like Edge or maybe Goldberg there. That wasn't a normal takedown. That's a spear right there, Cyrus.
Yeah, he's been watching Goldberg for sure, bro. He shot through that guy right then. I had to say, I was about to say that with Bone doing work, right, he fights really patient out here, Humble, for a lot of the fight. But when he gets his opponent hurt, his killer instinct kicks in, and you see him turn it up to 100 real quick, and he doesn't like to let his opponents off anything. So now he's got an advantage. That's why we saw the spear, and as you can see, he's now sucking out the rest of this round, working damage to see if he can, basically get a finish a little bit later on, even if his opponent's not able to work his way back to his feet right here. A lot of damage can be landed from these positions.
Yeah, definitely. He's a momentum fighter, as you said. Like, he likes to block the other opponent's sort of momentum coming back and kind of just keep his rolling, essentially. That's what he's trying to do right now, just constantly stay in a positive position. So his opponent starts to essentially break, starts taking him out of there. You know, J Diamond, hopefully he can get a finish as his opponent starts to make those mistakes. But Pigeon Scout's stamina at the moment has been brilliant.
Yeah, it has, but do you think a fight with Conor and Jorge would have this much grappling? Like, do you think they would just be here in guard the whole round, Cyrus?
Well, yeah.
I mean, he gets stood up right there, but probably not. But I wouldn't be too surprised from, honestly, Jorge, because you've got to remember that guy did live with Colby for a long time. He has played wrestling for a long time. You know, he does have it in that back pocket. I think the problem is that, especially against maybe somebody like Conor, and I suppose the same can be said for Jorge, the takedown defense is so good. It takes a top-level wrestler to get you down to the mat in most occasions.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the leg as well there, J Diamond. Conor's starting to chase the action, but Bone doing worse, catching him on the end of the straight.
Yeah, he got caught chasing him. Yeah, he's getting caught chasing him again.
He caught him.
He got to keep his combo short. Like, he's chasing him.
This could be.
It's over.
It is.
Oh my goodness, man. I'm upset. I'm happy he won, but I'm mad he chased him. Why would you chase him?
He was so patient up until then, though, right, Jay?
He lost his composure and his discipline and paid for it.
Well, I mean, Bone doing work, obviously frustrating his opponent over the stretch there and able to secure a finish. Guy is still undefeated, 3-0 now, Humble. Interesting things could be ahead of him. Of course, the guy that we see at the top of the bill, in the co-main event, I should say, Chris, is 4-0 currently in the same division, challenging for a belt, the vacant belt up against BFAP Dirrty Dave. So, you know, with Bone doing work, putting on a performance like that, a big test. I'm sure there's a big test coming up for him next, but maybe only one or two more to get through, and he could be challenging for that gold as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like, he's gonna he's 17 now and he's just been 21, so he's gonna propel himself with a finish as well. He's gonna propel himself right up the division, possibly near the 10 mark or somewhere like that. If you could usually look at the rankings when that happens, we don't know yet, but you know, that's a big fight there because there's a lot of guys. Look at the guys at the top of the bill, Kai and who and a few others. There's fantastic competitors throughout the PlayStation division now, and it's incredibly tough up there.
That is Jay. that, once again, we are 100% finish rate in 2023, my man. I don't think that these guys next are gonna stop that momentum. It is the one and only Ripe, also known as Ripe MMA, up against STLK Ballon. These guys are familiars on the PlayStation scene. We know and love the way that they fight, Jay. I expect big action from these guys standing across from each other. As you can see, Dan Ige, Dustin Poirier, doesn't get any better than that, brother.
So crazy because I feel like we watch Ballon fight a lot. I feel like every time we're on primetime, we say the name Ballon every time. So shout out to him for always fighting OPT.
He's fought a lot. He's fought a lot this season. You're actually right, Jay Dime. He's got 10 fights this season, so you are quite right. He's fought a lot of times, but fighting a lot as well. It puts you in a good spot because he's number 20 in the PlayStation division and Ripe is number 19, so these two are neck and neck right up there trying to get their spot around that 10 mark. We're still in the prelims, Cyrus. This is crazy. These guys fighting in the prelims right now.
100%, brother. 100%. Like I said, especially we don't have a Friday card right now. We will do more fight nights in the future, but maybe a little bit less regular than we have in the past. Of course, did them every single week. It means that on some of these cards, the talent is all stacked on. I mean, you find guys around those top rankings kind of making the upper end of the prelims. It says everything about the depth of the fights we expect to see here this evening.
Yeah, 100%, Cyrus. And just to go back to that as well before we start analysing this fight, the PlayStation division's got 99 people in it this season, and the Xbox division's got 121 people, and we're watching top 20s in the prelims of the Saturday card. You know, so it is a stacked division. There's a lot of 100 people. There's a lot of people to beat. You know, 100 people. There's a lot of people trying to get through. A lot of bodies, a lot of talent there, J-Time, and these two are right at it. And you know why? 2 minutes into this first round, and these two have been swinging at each other.
100 is a lot. You said that's 100 people?
120 in Xbox, 99 in PlayStation.
Okay, we need 100. But with that being said, that's a lot of competitors. That means there's a lot of people to get through. There's so many different styles that people possess. So it's nothing but the best of the best here in primetime, Cyrus.
Exactly right, brother. Exactly right. You've got to earn it each and every step of the way. These guys, you know, it's a big circuit now, and there's a lot of different kind of bodies that you can put in front of you, a lot of different styles that you can find. And you need to be ready for anybody, any time out here, Humble. You know, that kind of is further accentuated by the rules from the 4-star on the prelims. As you can see, some guys can get it working, and Ripe MMA is one of those guys so far. Rip into the body, brother.
Yeah, Ripe MMA is one of those guys that kind of dips in and out of the top 10, J-Time, and he's always usually up there. I think he was ranked number 5 at one point, and he was doing really, really well, challenging for the belt or challenging for the number 1 contender spot. So he's had a taste of it. He want to be back where he was. He want to be back in that winning column, and doing it against Ballon today with Danny Ige is a great statement.
Especially with Dan Ige, because you're facing Dustin Poirier, who has 5-star boxing. I should never say. Yep, the 5-star boxing. And that's what you have to do if you get your head boxed off, Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, look, he just big brothered him right there. When you pick somebody up on your shoulder like that, that's disrespectful, my man. That's disrespectful. Dustin Poirier, though, no slouch on the ground either there, Humble, although not in a great position at this moment in time.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to take this sprawl position here and just punch the body, try to get some extra shots in, seal out the round so Dustin kind of can't come back, and gets to a good position in half guard. 40 seconds left to work, J-Time. He needs to kind of get some ground and pound off.
Yeah, he does, because Dustin did stun him, but Dan Ige should be comfortable. He should end the round on top, and that should be a statement to the judges, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly, brother. Exactly right. It has been a crazy round. I would be lovely reversal. Just loads of beautiful little moments in this round as he gets one straight goddamn back, Humble. I want to see the stats of that round, and they're gonna give it to us. Look at those.
Yeah, I think that is going to be a Ripe MMA round. Most of the fight, I thought Ripe MMA was kind of controlling, and the big shot from Dustin came out of kind of nowhere, and Ripe came straight back with a nice takedown. For me, the momentum at the start, at the end of the round, and he had a rock as well. It's got to go to Danny Ige, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Well,
judges now as well.
Yeah,
we are.
We always get it wrong, you know, always. So,
dude, bro, like honestly, I thank God I ain't a judge. So I'm just happy about that. But I will say, bro, that this round these guys already starting off like this. I don't think we have too long in it, to be perfectly honest with you. Both guys have serious power, Jay, and they are landing like 80-90% of the punches they're throwing.
Yeah, and I think I could be a judge because them judges aren't that good. They give out horrible calls. The calls I'm gonna give out can't be worse than whatever they doing, Humble.
100%. 100%. I bet it's hard, but at the same time, these
Oh my
ringside right now
God.
haven't been needed because the primetime guarantee has been hot and heavy tonight.
Oh, and a reversal.
Nice work. Good defense as well.
Well, I mean, just the animation on that alone, bro, was that was terrifying. Dustin Poirier decides to separate due to no stamina. Ripe MMA now a little bit, little bit of an advantage in terms of the stamina, and of course, I would imagine the health due to the accumulative damage he has landed. But you can see that Dustin's still in it, still got that power, still very conscious of what's going on around him.
Yeah, definitely. Big shot out of anywhere can end this one from either guy. But you got to take advantage of that stamina advantage you've got. You've got to try and press Dustin into making some more mistakes, some big shots from him and whiffing, and then you're going to be able to get ahead, at least in the third round. But you see, Ripe MMA, the respect, now J Dam's a bit different, right?
Yeah, and I love the fact that his stamina is still way higher than Dustin. So say the third round happens, he can put his foot on the gas pedal a lot more than Dustin can because he has a lot left in the tank.
Yeah, basically, if he's able to stay around this level come the end of the round, he in the third can empty everything he can, because there's really nothing he can do to burn through all that stamina in 5 minutes.
I don't know, you'd be surprised though.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Some of the kicks, like a couple of shots to those body and you're going, but Balance now starting to press with the jab. It's just going to get to the point where Balance can't throw 3-piece combinations or 4-piece combinations without being gassed, and that's where Ripe MMA is going to try and take advantage. He needs to get to that point. He's aware of that. He's an experienced player, a Division 20 every season, and someone who's around the top 100, and a top competitor in prime time. So I expect some adjustments in this next round, or next 50 seconds at least.
Yeah, Ripe MMA, Jay, he's been in prime time for a good time now. I think he may be one of the first competitors when we open up the PlayStation side of things. You've seen massive advancements in his game, and he was already a fantastic player. So I think that's the volume to the depth of that division, but also what Ripe MMA brings to the table to continue to keep his name relevant season after season.
Yeah, that's a primetime OG right there. And you see how he's starting to throw more shots now because you see that stamina advantage, and Dustin's going to start throwing shorter combos because he won't be able to throw much more for much longer, Humble.
100%, and that's it. Like, it's a race right now. Neither one of these guys wants to be the first decision of 2023 as well. So I've got 5-0 finishes so far. It's our 6th fight. Maybe we're 6-0. I'm not sure, but we haven't had no finishes yet, no decisions yet. And these guys are in the third round. They've got 5 minutes to end it, because for me, Jay, I was being serious earlier on. If you want to stay ahead of the pack, you've got to get KOs, because there's 92% finish rate. It means nobody's dropping the ball. Nobody.
Oh my God. If he gives this up, Dustin Poirier said, it is not over. I don't care how low my stamina is. I still have that boxing, and I still have that power, Cyrus.
Yeah, will we see another crazy dragon comeback? We're about to find out. But
my God, bro.
We might just do that, Humble.
He's had him hurt though in every round. Like he hurt him in the first round, he's hurt him in the second round, and now again he's hurt him. And this time he's trying to he's got one chance, one opportunity. Essentially, seize the moment, J-Time, and go after him in this round. And now is kind of it, because his stamina's gonna be low later.
Yeah, he's not taking this opportunity for granted. He's trying to take Dan Ige off this earth. He's trying to knock his head off his shoulders, Cyrus.
Yeah, he is throwing kill shots each and every time. You can see the worry on Dustin's face. He knows that he can hurt him. He just has to weather the storm, look for that opportunity, because every time he puts a jab out there, even the block of Ripe is actually disappeared. But the stamina's just not there for him. It is for Ripe, though.
That's it. Oh, he got
Nope, he's still alive. He is still alive, Humble.
Oh my God.
Why did he not throw that?
Mate, but he's now disregarding the boxing, so Ripe missed right in front of him. Just beautiful work. This has got to be it. Just survives again. His chin is like dynamite. He's not.
Oh my God, bro.
It's over now, right?
Yes.
Golly.
Look,
Oh, in a rage. In a rage.
And he's gone.
if he wasn't out, then his corner should have thrown in the goddamn towel because, I mean, those shots were giving me CTE, bro. Like they were savage. They were savage, humble.
You got to take 6 months off after that. That's
Yeah.
he's just cut half your paycheck off for a year right there. He stopped him working for a year, Jay Dan. That was a brutal performance, and he came back. Well, I'm not quite sure because he was doing really well throughout the fight, and we said like we knew what he was trying to do. We knew he was trying to pick up the pace later with the stamina advantage and kind of put the boxing combinations together, and that's what he did. But at the same time, he had to go through some adversity to get there.
Yeah, there was moments in that fight where it seemed like Dustin was going to come back. And to Dustin's credit, he survived. He got up a few times where he should have been put completely out. And the streak continues, fellas.
Oh, it does. The streak of how many fights? It 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on the 7th fight now, and we've had 6. Prime time's just started. The first fight card of the year, 2023. We've had 6 fights and 6 finishes. The guarantee is real, Cyrus. I don't care what anyone says. It's impossible not to be.
Yeah, no, bro, it is. I'm telling you, these things, we didn't set out necessarily, right? We wanted to, of course, make the shows as entertaining as possible, but you guys, the competitors, are what make that a reality each and every event. I'm telling you, bro, killer show after killer show. There's a reason that we are continued, right? After months of months, after 1,500 fights deep, guys, right? Where we called the majority of those in amongst with Doc, Pudgy, Reaper and the like, Matty D and so on in the back. They, between the lot of us, we called over 1,500 fights. There's a reason that we're still hyped to do this every weekend, bro. I'm telling you, it's the action that these guys put on. MMA is the best sports on the planet, and this is the best esports in the land. These guys are ready and going into it, so I'm not going to waste any more time because looks like they are very, very ready to get into it.
100%.
Whoa, stop. Before anything. No, that too. But I know record does not matter, but the record says 253 to 27 is what it says.
Doesn't matter, Chit time. Doesn't matter.
Oh, hey, I say that for any other case. This may matter. This may matter.
It might 100%. And they're coming out with Sean O'Malley and Peter Yan. Are we still in the prelims?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I was letting these guys know they may have fucked it. They realized, bro. They realized.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's still in the prelims now if we just jumped to somewhere else. I know it's number 12 versus number 22, and that's crazy. Like, it's high-ranked fighters fighting each other, but not quite yet on the main card for both of these guys. 2-0 versus 4-4 with Driz, and these guys have got maybe one fight away, and this could be it. But they've got to go 4-star fights, or it would have been a DQ for both guys, Cyrus.
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, it wouldn't have been fair to anybody else, right? Or we don't think so. These guys. Rules are them goddamn rules, man. We're going to see 5-star fighters very, very soon. That is the main card, and that is coming very shortly. They are now lobbied up against each other once again, trying to find those their picks. Of course, we pre-organize all of this, so it's probably just a momentary lapse in judgment. These things happen, right? The pressure is on when the bright lights are on above you. It looks like we're actually going to see Henan Barao on the side of Driz, and he's going up against John Lineker, bro. Going up against John Lineker. Hands of stone, but I think that they were a bit disrespectful on the game. I think they only gave him like an 80-odd power stat.
Ooh, that's crazy. 80-odd power. He's got like some of the worst, most vicious knockouts ever. And before we go ahead, I just want to announce some amazing news. John Jones is going to be fighting Cyril Gane for the heavyweight title. And that's just been announced it's just been announced by the UFC for March the 4th. It's on all of their billboards and stadium pictures.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do that. But we are MMA fans at the end of the day, JM Dime. But yeah, these two small competitors, and he said another word there, small competitors are going to be going at it right now. Renan Barao was one of the best in the world at this one time, J Dime. One of the best in the world.
People forget. I'm going to tell you why people forget, because it's a what have you done for me now type of sport. So a lot of legends like BJ Penn, say Henan Barao, people will forget what they did in their time, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly.
Our job to tell people, though, isn't it? That's the thing. It's our job to tell them. It's the commentator's job to tell them. These are amazing fighters. Amazing fights.
Truly, brother, truly. Old guard, still as game as ever, especially in the
Oh my
virtual octagon.
gosh.
KB Wylum, or Calum.
It's Calum, yeah.
Calum was in the Twitch chat saying that he gave him 200 free wins just to make him a little bit overconfident going into this one. That's what he said, bro. And he's fighting like it. He's beating him like he stole something at the moment, Jay.
I would say that he is swinging and he is landing.
But he got caught, bro.
I was about to say he was weathering the storm. He was chilling for a second, Cyrus, because you got a certain level of confidence if you beat somebody up that many times.
This is very, very true. Also, the fact that they've been utterly disrespectful to John Lineker's power stat. He isn't hitting as hard as he would ordinarily do. You can see that Driz just being very precise in the shots he's chosen, and after that rock, you know, confidence is only going to continue to boost, even if the 200 wins didn't do it for him.
Yeah, 100%. The main attributes as well, though, of Ren Barao is those straight shots mixed with the spinning kicks. He's got a good Muay Thai attack, similar to trains with like the Jose Aldos of the world in that shooter box gym at the time. And he's just a fantastic Muay Thai striker mixed with a bit of like unique Taekwondo J Dime. He's got to utilize those sort of long combinations.
Okay, hold on. I read something. This is what they said. They said Driz trained Calum. So a lot of those wins is from when Calum was bad, because that's who trained him. So it's like the master versus the student right now. Will the student surpass the teacher?
And Jay, he could have had 243 wins in a row on him, and then Calum could have beaten him 27 times in a row, you know? So it could be 27-0 going, this is a student going forward.
Now, I understand that, but the likelihood of him going 243 and 0 again,
we don't know, though, J Dime. He could be on a 10-fight week streak on him as week first week.
Yeah, because it looks like the gap between them is not much anyway. So even if the gap in the record's that way, it looks like he's leveled up. Like he's a lot better than maybe he was back then, Cyrus.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like you said, that's what they were saying in the chat, and it does look like it, bro. He's coming out here, and he doesn't fight like, or he isn't fighting humble, like a guy with lacking confidence, but he is starting to get clipped by some clean combinations from Driz, man. He's landed a few times now over the first 5 minutes.
These two know each other so well. Like, you got to think about. I've not had that many fights with anybody, J Time. Yeah, like.
I do. I know. There's like 3 people that have that many fights.
Nowhere near like 300 something fight, maybe 50 or 60 or something, but not 300 fights with someone. That's great. These know each other like the back of the hand, is my point. And you know, every time one of them thinks they're going to be getting ahead, everyone's going to have something in the back pocket because they can kind of know what they're going to be throwing next.
Oh man. John Lineker head health is toast. It's toast right now.
Spies didn't jump.
I mean, the work has been very clean. It's been precise. You know, if you had watched the first 30 seconds of this fight only, you'd think that John Lineker was going to be on to a winner. And he had me going there, Jay, but as you rightly said, the storm was weathered. Lots of respect on both sides, but Barao right now looking like he's in a bit of cruise control.
No, he is. Nice work from John Lineker's going to be tough because he's got to close the distance. He's got one problem already ahead of him, J Dime, and that is distance. He's got a short arm, short legs. He's got to kind of get in there, so he's got to take the extra step or the extra jab to set it up, and that's a problem.
Yeah, he's a little short. Not even a little short. He's a lot shorter than Renan Barao. He looks like a little kid next to him, so he has to get in close, which is, it's tough.
It is, bro. It is. And like I said, the fact that his power isn't really truly represented in the game is obviously also going against him. I don't know if this is a pick that Calum goes with often, but he seems to, be fairly comfortable with him still. The game plan has not changed for him one bit there, Humble.
Ooh. Yeah, it's not. He's got to come forward. He's got to try and press the action. He's looking to time something, but at the moment he's getting caught too much as he's coming in. Also, big brother. I think it's more disrespectful to keep someone on the brink rather than trying to finish them, because it's kind of like breaking the. I do this to people I don't like.
Oh my gosh!
100%.
I do this to people I don't like.
Gotta get that
my
god!
Like this is torture. Look, he's bound him like good fight. It's not a good fight. It's not a good fight. Mercy kill him. Mercy kill him, for God's sake. He's got a mother and a sister, for God's sake, who's watching this. Mercy kill him.
How much brain damage does one guy gotta get, bro? Like,
you think you're doing your friend a favor, and his family are crying. His family are crying.
Yeah, I see why the record's like that, but That was a competitive fight for a while, and then he just had to assert his dominance at the end, fellas.
The teacher's still a teacher, but
yeah, that's it. The teacher is still a teacher, and I was just thinking, like, when we were talking about, it's kind of close, isn't it? You know, during the first round, he just literally pulled his sleeves up, Cyrus, and then
I think he heard.
He pulled his sleeves up, work. He felt some disrespect in that one there. He said, "Did you not see the record? What are you talking about?"
Well. Hannibal, one of the finest performances you will see by a Hannibal player in that octagon.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee,
I mean, big respect, man. That's one way to kick off 2023 for the man, and the undefeated. I was going to say the 100% finishing rate. Still in effect. I'm going to keep mentioning it each and every time, Humble, because
it's an impressive sort of start. It's an impressive sort of start. Like, whoever breaks it, we're going to kick out PT.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
They're going to get fined, that's what's happening.
They lose points. Like I said, they lose points, but that was a big win. That was a very, very big win for Driz, because he's 22 and he's just beat number 12, who was undefeated, and he's going to fly himself right up to that top echelon now, get a big fight maybe in his next one, and get back to the drawing board. Currently 2-1, not too bad, just lost his undefeated record, and against the guy who essentially probably should have lost to with the amount of wins that he's got over him.
Yeah, exactly right. Once again, you said this earlier, actually, Humble, that the way that people make adjustments, and that's not just in the individual fight, but in between fights, is something that really keeps this league going, is the fact that these fighters are so adaptable. They're all looking to improve their skills, and they're doing exactly right, exactly that. The kind of formula for how to improve has been set out by some of the great players that we've seen come through this community, and these guys have been following in, and making their own kind of paths towards those titles. So I expect bigger things to continue to happen. I have to say that these two guys up next, I expect nothing but straight goddamn action out here, Jay. We've got the one and only KM introspectively up against DB's very own Dezinho. These guys, they are all action all the time, man. I ain't ever seen a boring fight with these guys in it.
Now that you said that, what if the fight's boring?
It ain't, bro.
I'm playing. I'm playing.
I'm on too much of a high.
I'll end you.
The matchmaking and the way we book fights, it doesn't, like, people don't understand. To have a 92 or 93% finish rate, and then the first card of the year, for every fight to go finish rate, and we're just chatting. We could be chatting crap, Cyrus, but we're not. It's crazy.
Back us up, brother.
It's crazy. I have no doubt that this fight's gonna go to a finish, and we haven't been wrong yet, so who knows? And the full prelims without this, obviously we're gonna break his fight down afterwards, but we'll go to obviously a analyst desk after this for 5 minutes to give you some insight on the main card while we listen to the other analyst, Cyrus, and this one's gonna end off the prelims of tonight, the fight night prelim. Here we go.
Yes, sir. Featured fight of this evening, Primetime 81, brought to you by these absolute savages, bro. I expect nothing but silky smooth combinations. The way the intro uses the lunging strikes in combination, he does the KM boys proud with it. But I know Dezinho has very, very clean boxing, and that's why he's gone Jorge. The DB boys are known for it, and he's going to be looking to keep the fundamentals sound and trying to catch intro while he's getting a little bit more kind of flashy in front.
Nice working.
And
Jay's catching him clean.
Yeah, and then here's the thing. I love watching Intro fight. Intro has an aesthetically pleasing style to watch. Like, his combos, it looks good. It's nice to watch, Cyrus.
Yeah, it's all about animations. I said this, the KM boys, one of their original founding members, Cold-Blooded, that guy has the most unique style that you will ever see, and a lot of these guys have kind of mirrored that in advanced styles. They will have that in common. You can see Intro, he chooses his animation combinations correctly. It's clean as hell out here, Humble.
Mate, you've got to. I got you. This could be it. Intro going for an absolute masterclass in striking. It can sometimes leave you vulnerable, but I'll tell you how you do that. You've got to go to the training room and you've got to practice those combinations against the computer, throwing something and just drill them over and over and over again till it's second nature, because the way he throws them, you can tell he's trained them 1,000 times, Cyrus.
Definitely, brother. definitely. Practice makes perfect. I'm telling you, these guys. I know it's almost cliche to say it now, but when I say like iron sharpens iron and all that, but it's true. It ain't hyperbole. These guys, they all come with a particular set of skills. They go at it day in, day out in that gym and sharpen each other's kind of overall skills. They're to a point now where they have all of the animations like second nature, and you can see it makes them incredibly dangerous, but that doesn't mean that the fundamentals can't slowly break him down across the course of the fight, and that's what Desenio is trying to do in counter of this, Jay.
Yeah, the fundamentals is the most important thing in fighting. Even before you build on the flashy stuff, you have to get really good at the fundamentals, because once everything hit the fan, that's all you have left. Oh my gosh, he just dropped him.
He catches him, he's got a chance to finish him. And that's some good work from Intro. Intro's a good grappler as well, and the stamina's quite low. Hasn't got the best opponent to grapple with Intro, with Masvidal. Wonder if he'll stand up. He does. Very interesting there, Cyrus.
Yeah, it's have to see how the last 30 seconds go, but another uppercut lands to the chin of Masvidal.
And he got just ran out of stamina right at the end of there.
Jorge has to just set his feet, cut the cage, and counter his flashiness with the basics. Like the basics and the fundamentals.
There's an old principle that once taught out here, Humble. It's the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. You've got to keep it simple. You're a little bit stupid if you don't, because these flashy guys, somebody that has more taekwondo or kicking-based style, they're going to really, really kind of take you out of your element and land, some horrendously bad strikes in some dangerous spots. So keep that defense high and start to chip away at the foundations.
I'm really glad he shows us the stats as well, because the stats show that he's got a knockdown and then Intro's got two. Oh, big shot. Oh my God.
Yes.
Intro's against the fence.
Yes.
My point was the last round was
my God. And he puts him out. He left his head on the side of the cage. That was a great fight.
Knockout of the night so far, lads. I mean,
that second fight in this one so far.
Basic boxing and fundamentals, Cyrus.
Bro, 100% preach it, brother. Preach it. These guys, I'm telling dirty boxing. They have clean boxing. I think it's actually dirty boxing, but I like the dirty boxing, so I keep calling them. But they come out there and they do have like a dirty boxing sort of style. Very, very clean, but they'll mix in a little bit of clinch. They'll mix in some grappling that we've seen from some of their fighters more recently, but Desenio needs none of that. Came out. What we speak about weathering storm, changing the momentum's Humble. He weathered that storm. He was not put off by the flashiness of Intro, and he got the job goddamn done, bro. He found his moment and he ran away with it.
He continued the streak, Cyrus. The streak is like the Undertaker streak at the moment this time. 2023. We've had the prelims, we've had the early prelims, we've had 2, 4, 6, 8. We've had 8 fights so far and 8 finishes, time. The streak continues to prime time. Not one single decision. These guys are out, and MB Core, who's one of the main card fighters, is putting in the chat right now. I like the 100% finish streak, and I promise I won't end it. So he's going for that as well.
My client will not end it. He will not end it.
Yeah, his name is Ghost, and look, I'm telling you, he has a lot to live up to, brother. I don't expect him to not come away with a finish or be part of that at least. It's going to be a sensational night of fights, my guys, and I can't not wait to get back into it. For now, though, of course, we are going to say goodbye. We're going to pass you across to the analyst booth, the one and only Doctor Who, and of course, the ever mighty Pudgy. Guys, it has been a crazy night of fights. I know that you have a lot to go to, so we'll catch you again in a moment.
Indeed, it has. It's been a crazy night of fights, as you've seen. You had the 2 early prelims and the late night bookings, but both of them came up superb. Dragon getting his KO victory, and A2 Active sadly getting a loss against NM Mikey, making a dominant debut, Pudgy.
Man, listen, Doc, listen, from start to finish, the whole card's been crazy. It's literally been 8 finishes into the card itself. Nobody's letting anything go to decision. That's how we want it. That's how everybody wants it here at Prime Time. So it's just been amazing, dude. Like, listen, that last fight that we just saw between Intro and DB Desenio, man, Intro had it in the beginning. He was doing his thing. Those, listen, the combinations are very crispy, but some way, somehow, Desenio just came back. He just found that that hole, and then he just like he filled it, and then that was it. And like he did his thing, man. So man, it's just been amazing fights, man. I don't even know where to start, dude. Like,
yeah, no, it really, really has. As you mentioned, the intro fight, that knockout, the note type of style. You had the pigeon fight, which was an interesting one. Bone using a lot of the jab straights mixed with the leg kicks, causing a lot of hassle with pigeon. Him taking that loss. You had the Kante Frosty fight. I know a bit of contention in the background from Kante with the HUD being turned off, but it's illegal. We don't ban the HUD being off in this league, so that's why it crumbles sometimes. It has been a fun fight across the board. If you want to look towards our main card, though, let's talk about our main event first and foremost. This is going to be NM Smudger versus B3 WordLife. You may have heard this in before, but the B3 camp are the only people to give Smudger his losses across both this season and last season. So if anybody's in good contention to actually take another win away from Smudger, it's very much likely to be WordLife here.
Yeah, it could be, just because you never know, man. Like you had a whole camp that that basically defeated one person, but maybe Smudger found the he found the answer of what's going on, and I think that he wants to keep the belt on for his camp as well too. But WordLife, he has a statement to make as well, so he wants to also bring that belt back to B3 as well. So, I mean, between these two, I've had the pleasure of watching these guys, fight time after time and time with different opponents and things like that, and watching these guys, it's just amazing, dude. Like, it really is. Smudger, he's no joke. He really isn't. But I think that WordLife has a lot to offer, and I think that Smudger is going to make the necessary adjustments that he needs to. And I think that WordLife is just going to, just do his thing out there. But one of my favorite fights out here as well too, for the co-main, we got BFAP Dirrty Dave versus DB Chris. Now,
looking over the fights of Chris here, he's 4-0. He's the man who had a spot in the title shot. The rest of them, you could argue where their places go. Could it be Trixie? But he's coming off a lost concept. Could be, but he's having a bit of difficulty. But then you have Dave in that title picture, number 2, 9-2, and it's like he's got that shot there because Naz vacated. So that's kind of led to this fight happening. And so looking at the fights Chris has, he has Donna most recently, and his previous fight before that was Concept, which makes an even stronger argument for why he's in this title fight, and it's going to be very interesting to see. But Dave's an all-round fighter, and if you want to make your name known, Dave is the person you beat. Trixie is the person you beat. In this case, he's going to be fighting against the mighty Dirty Dave, and it's going to be an interesting time for him, Pudgy.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Dirty Dave is a fan favorite. I'm a fan of Dave, and respect to that, man. I just think that for up and coming fighters like DB Chris, for an example, I haven't gotten a chance to really see so much of his fights, but at least from what his record is showing, like he's 4-0. So that's definitely saying a lot, especially when you're coming up in a basically in a ranking where you have a whole bunch of killers. You have Trixie, the one of the, if not the GOAT of prime time. He just won one of his very first awards as well too. So shout out to Trixie. And you have a lot of other people. You have Lilo versus Caliber.
Sorry to cut you off there. We are running slightly about over time what we were meant to be doing. As you mentioned, though, it's a stacked main card across the board. You got names like Trixie, Lilo, basically every one of those names on the main card But for first, we're going to be going straight into MPK GOAT versus MK Amazon. These guys are killers in action, just not part of the KIA camp here. Have fun.
Gotcha. All right. Well, all we know is that, hey, we're just going to continue to have the finishes rolling, and I don't think that any fight is going to make it to the decision at all. I wish we had a poll. Maybe we should start implementing that of how many finishes can one card have. So I'm just kind of I'm very excited to see what these two guys have to offer. I've seen him Amazon fight plenty of times. If this is the GOAT that I'm thinking of, is that Is that I go BP by chance?
It's Goat MMA.
Gotcha. I go MMA. Okay, gotcha. There's a lot of goats, so all right. Sorry about that. But
that is MBK Goat actually, so you might know him under that title. He is actually ready and raring to go, my guys. We have Islam Makhachev on the left-hand side. That is Goat of MMA. He was in the chat a moment ago, Jay, your client, saying that he is not able to speak. He is not doing that here this evening. And I'm telling you, man, this guy does hunt for those finishes. He ain't a boring-ass fighter. He mixes in the grappling. He throws those hands. And the same is said about King Amazon. Two guys been around the scene a long-ass time. Lots of finishes under their belts.
Man, listen to me too, guys. I'm not gonna jinx him. I don't know. We have seen only exciting fights today. I hope this is not the boring one today. That's all I'm gonna say, Humble.
No, it's not going to be the boring one today. This is going to be an absolute banger. And J Dime Fighter Productions continues with his clients right there. He's like Paul Heyman of the primetime division, coming up with loads of different fighters. But Amazon's going to be Amazon's been getting better and better as well. Cyrus, he's been constantly kind of improving. Goat's no joke. I watched him in a tournament recently. He was fantastic.
Yeah, he's challenged for primetime gold. That's a hard enough thing to do in and of itself. Didn't quite seize that quite yet, but he believes that he will by the end of 2023. Plans on doing it in the early quarter, but he has to get through King Amazon, doing a good job landing damage early out here, Jay. But we did see a good couple of flurries from King Amazon as well, keeping Goat honest.
You don't want to hear something. This is what's crazy about UFC 4. Islam can stand on anyone. He has 94 punch speed, 94 punch power, and he has a fast hands perk.
100%. But looking at Volkanovski, he's doing exactly what we think that Volkanovski is going to try to do against Islam. He's going to use his movement. He's so fast. He's one of the look how fast he was. He made Max look like he was stuck in the mud, and Max made Calvin K look like he was stuck in the mud. So Volkanovski is exactly that. Volkanovski is extremely quick,
Yeah.
and Islam on the feet.
Oh my God!
Shut up now!
Full elbows. Oh, money. J Dime takes his back. Gets him down to the mat. Goat of MMA, trying to implement his full mixed martial arts game here.
This is where he don't want to be. He has a good side control. This is not where Volk wants to be. This is bad for him, Humble.
100%. And look at the elbows, the blood pissing out of him onto that mat right there, Cyrus. It is not a nice scene. People don't want the corner must be getting concerned as Islam Makhachev starts to advance his position, try to move across him, and obviously get some incredible ground and pound going forward.
Well, Goat of MMA going to Islam. Obviously, he knew that, or his opponent, Amazon, knew that he was going to be trying to implement somewhat of a grappling game. And he said, he actually, don't know if he knew it, but he was quoting Volkanovski. He said, I've come into this game plan trying to utilize my movement. I know that eventually I may get taken down, but I'm not going to be like everybody else. I'm going to be active, working my way back to the feet, and I will not submit to any position. Humble. It's what he's done as he's worked his way back to his feet.
There we go, but he can't keep getting taken down. One of the things about Islam and Goat is the next one he might understand a bit more of information and keep on longer. You've got to kind of kill that momentum, get a few takedown denials and kind of time that. But Goat of MMA on the feet's been catching him as well. Right there, J-Dime. Your client is starting to put on the pressure and land those boxing combinations. Beautiful work.
No, nice. But Volk is not out of it. Volk has been doing he's been doing some good work himself. He just has to stay off the canvas, and he has to not get caught, because you know what set up the takedown? That pull elbow. He stunned him. So he has to limit the production that Islam has on the feet, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right. And right now, I have to say, Goat of MMA utilizing a lot of good combinations.
Jesus.
The flurry sits him down out here, Humble, trying to get the finish.
Saved by the bell.
He was serious, wasn't he? Yeah, he was serious. He wants the finish. Like, people don't realize how hard it was to pick KO of the year this year. Well, we started picking Cyrus, but KO of the year. There's so many candidates because of this. This is the first event of the year, and we've already got so many finishes, so many things. And this one looks like it's not going to be any different. Let's be real.
No, straight up, bro. Straight up. Another rock. Goat is trying to go for the finish. Sits him down again.
Goat MMA, here he goes. He's got for it. He's got his manager standing in the background. John just gets him with an elbow and then bounces to his opponent.
I don't think he should have did that because Volk is still dangerous. I don't care if you think he's down out. We seen him against Brian Ortega when it looked like he was out, and he came back.
There is no budge in King Amazon and in Volkanovski's heart, I tell you that. He is going to be game to the very end, playing with your food. May come back to hunt growth of MMA, but he is still keeping that forward pressure, and it gets him caught!
Oh my God! Oh my God, he comes back. King Amazon looking for mate. The momentum was lost when as soon as he bowed to him. King Amazon, the disrespect he must have felt.
He stepped his own.
And King Amazon, he knows the way he's
going
gonna
for the
go.
kill.
Oh, King Amazon! He's trying to chop the world go of MMA. What has he done, J-Dime? He has bowed to his opponent and he has paid for it.
I told you, Volk is never out of the fight. That's why you need to finish your opponent. Don't play with your food. We seen what Volk did when we thought he was down and out against Brian Ortega.
Exactly right. Now GOAT of MMA does get him into side control, gets the first on Nile and the second. This is dangerous position to be in for Volkanovski, but he sticks true to his word, humble, stays active, works his way back to slightly better positions on his route to try and get back to his feet.
He can't take too much damage at the moment on the ground. His head is already blinking when he takes 1 or 2, as you're about to see right there. Islam is the killer.
It's over.
Islam is the killer with that ground and pound. Look at that work. Islam Khayev and GOAT MMA get the win in the 3rd round. Beautiful work. Just like he said he was going to, he got the finish. J-Dan, your client delivered.
Yeah, that was a great matchup, and he almost cost himself because he played with his food. But the streak continues. The streak continues.
Lessons to be learned, right, though, guys, Cyrus?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think he'd be playing with his food anytime soon, especially if he has aspirations of getting that primetime gold. Confidence is a great thing, but a little bit too much could, of course, come back to bite you in the butt, which almost happened right there. Respect where respect is due. He went for that ankle pick. He knew he needed to change something up, and ultimately was able to lead to some, hellacious ground and pound to get that finish. And once, as Jay said, it keeps the streak alive, which is one thing that I know these two next guys are planning on doing. These guys have a number of finishes on their resume out here, humble. They are known and loved within the scene. Both previous champions, believe or not, in the recent history. KM Lilo and KM Caliber have both been champions in this promotion. I mean, it speaks volumes to what that camp has been able to do, but also, of course, the fight that we are expected to see ahead of us.
Yeah, 100%. And there's a lot of new viewers that have come through for this main card. If you don't know what we're talking about when we're talking about the streak tonight, we have not had a decision. It is 2023's first card, and we've got an Undertaker sort of KO streak or a finish streak going ahead. And nobody yet has kind of broke that and went to decision. And these guys don't want to be any different, mainly because you lose so many points there. But as you said, Lilo and versus Caliber, I believe. Yes, Caliber. And these two were multiple knockouts of the year candidates, Cyrus. That's how hard it was. They're both knockout specialists, and they both pick kind of unusual picks as well.
Yeah, exactly right. They are known for more unorthodox picks for sure. I will say one thing, and it was actually something I read in the fighter chats leading up to this one. Caliber doesn't normally do too well against his own teammates in his own words, so he plans on trying to right that here this evening. But the work is going to be cut out. Lilo's one of that younger generation coming through today that seems to be that next breed. They come into this game fresh-eyed and obviously still have all the reaction times of the youth, which goes a long way.
Yeah, it goes a very long way because their finger's faster. Oh my gosh, their reaction time is faster.
Oh my God.
Oh dang! Calvin Gaslam, how'd you get your leg up that eye? I haven't seen him kick like that since Izzy.
Got some dexterity in them legs, and beautiful denial right there. Excellent work. Breaks the grip on the wrists and the hands and gets back out and goes back to work. We need to watch them head kicks because that came with velocity. He set that up really well and really early. So it's really high risk move, real early. Looking for a finish already.
Of course, it's too early for me to really make this call right, but I have to say, KM Caliber, when he mentioned that takedown after the big flurry, the fact that Lilo was able to deny that means that it's already taxed his stamina very, very heavily. That's why he's going for so many body roundhouses now, I do believe. I don't know, bro. It's 3 rounds, right? It sounds like not a lot of time, but when you're fighting in that octagon, it can feel like an eternity. I don't know if KM Caliber can keep this up. Unless he gets it down, Jay, just like that.
The problem was Marvin was hanging on that cage. That's the problem. You got to circle off that cage. It's easier to take you down once you get near that cage, Humble.
Yeah, now he's got side saddle moves, back sprawl. Gets a denial right there, but doesn't kind of. I like the patience from that one. He just waited. Caliber just wanted to see what his opponent was going to do. A lot of people would kind of make a sort of easy move right there and go for something, but he kind of a bit patient, read his opponent first of all, taking his time and now controlling the fight.
I honestly, I don't know how long he's been with them, but I actually think Lilo is a great signing for KM. Like I said, he is part of that kind of young up-and-coming sort of talent that you see. He makes very quick adjustments to his game, and you can already see that from some of the grappling exchanges too. I would imagine some of the work that's been put in the back there, the likes of Caliber himself, is really paying dividends to him. He seems dialed in, Jay. He's getting a lot of denials.
First of all, what's his name? My bad. Caliber's turning James Krause. I'm gonna tell. He swayed the betting line. He told everyone bet on Lilo, and he swayed that betting line completely around. We need to investigate him, Humble.
Yeah, I just checked the one bet that is on Caliber is from himself. I'm joking. I don't know. I would be suspicious if it was.
I have to say that those sorts of things like that shows a little bit of frustration for me. Lilo trying to go to that back take without much GA. Of course, KM Caliber, one of the better fighters that you will ever have graced the octagon, but does a great job of getting back to his feet. A lovely little slip there to end up this first round.
Oh my God! That was a Spartan kick. Oh my God!
Yeah, that is over. How can the ref let somebody in a grave come back? How can the referee unbury somebody? That is done. That is wrapped right there. How is he just going to stand back up?
Should we just move on?
That's a.
How is he alive? No, that's crazy. That was one of the craziest front kicks I've seen in my life.
Saved by the transition, essentially, Cyrus.
This fight's done as far as I'm concerned. I don't understand.
Body right now, you've got a zombie in front of him. How do you fight a zombie, essentially, J. Darrell?
Yeah, because he has no life in him, but he's still moving forward. He's essentially the Undertaker right now.
No, he already hit him with one headshot. I don't know if a second one's going to do it. I mean, damn, man, that was such a massive shot. If he can land something again like that, I mean, Ken Gastelum never coming back.
If you kind of, oh my God, if you kind of look at the face of Vittori, you can kind of see a footprint still. It is still there. That was such a big, huge shot. I can't believe that it's not over.
Oh, Caliber shook it off like it was absolutely nothing, though, right? They skipped the animations, came back out, and just found like normal.
That was a hard kick. That kick animation in general was one of the hardest kicks I've seen in my life.
It was so hard, I didn't actually know which guy took that kick. I thought it was Vittori. Like, I thought Vittori. That's how hard that kick was. It knocked my eyesight wrong.
Generally, the guy almost did a backflip. It was a major once again, though, I mean, the pressure's non-stop from Caliber.
He's back in the fight.
Yeah, like I said, from the second this round started, though, he didn't waste any time. If he can get it back into the grappling exchanges, obviously, it all just starts to stack in his favor.
I mean, who won the last round? I'm guessing we all think that Spartan kick was the end of the fight, but at the same time, did he won the fight round with that kick?
Yeah. Was it rough?
I don't know.
The round should have cancelled everything and made it a 10-8 somehow.
I mean, you can't give someone a round. If someone wins a round with that kick on, that's more interesting than the actual fight.
Oh my God!
He doesn't let us see it. He doesn't let us see it.
That's the second animation we've had like that here this evening. Dead bodies getting put on display. I don't know if this is broadcast ready. Are we past the watershed? This is madness.
He took a kick from hell and came back and won that fight. I don't know how he done it. Like, he was dead. The zombie won the fight, J-Time.
That's so crazy. How did he survive?
His corner shot to war on him. We should have watched the corner and then pick him up and stuff. Because I wanted to see him stumble back to the corner. The ref say, "You okay?" His eyes start rolling. The doctor comes in, shines a light in his eyes, and he's just.
Ladies and gentlemen,
because that was crazy the way he came. There's no way he survived that.
I mean, he would have had to pull off that Royal Romero against Tim Gannon and sort of treat them. They would have had to just pretend he didn't know what was going on, or what they got the stool. You know, we're just trying to get those extra seconds. But,
That's a great fight.
it was great. Let's be honest.
I've got some good
Kenny
news,
got
by the way.
robbed right there, bro.
Yeah. I've got some good news, though, guys. Good news, J Dan. Do you know what the good news is, J Dan?
That's good news.
The streak continues, J Dan.
Oh!
The streak
Let's
continues. Not every single fight's been a finish so far as we move into the last 5 fights. It's more. I'm getting more nervous now, Cyrus, because we got a full card, a full event of finishes. I think it might be. I don't know. It's probably been.
We've had it happen. We've had it happen. But now, especially, look, when we collated all the stats from last season, me and Doc sat there. We went through a bunch of stats from the of course, rankings and records kind of server that we have. It records absolutely everything, every finish, every event, all that. So it was really, really interesting to see the body of work that these guys have put on, and it genuinely gives confidence to do this here this evening. But obviously, we would maybe mention that it's all being finishes, but I can confidently say, bro, each and every single fight here, I believe is going to be a finish. I think that this 100% continues. Many events to come, my man. I'm going to claim it right here. These guys
many events, not just this one.
This isn't a multiple event streak. I'm telling you, brother, I don't know where the first decision is.
Get excited yourself. You've took a bit of the red pill in your thing. Cyrus, we've got one fight at a time. Proper Steak versus Capalotta is the next, and these need to deliver, J-Dab. They're under a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, they're not just under the pressure to win. They're under the pressure to keep the streak alive. I think that's the biggest pressure.
I'll tell you something as well, Cyrus. If there's going to be sort of a decision as well, it's probably going to be in one of these fights, because these guys have such high placeholds in the in each respective division. The guys who just fought were number 5 and 3. These two are number 6 and 8. So a win here could put you for a contenders fight, or you're fighting one of the top guys in the division right now.
I'm sorry, I wasn't laughing at you, bro. I looked over and glanced at the chat. I see Dino Gamer in the chat saying, "Get me on the next event. I'm doing decisions only." This guy kills me. But honestly, no. Once again, these guys, you say one fight at a time. I never seen a boring fight with Capalotta in it. I ain't ever seen a boring fight at all with either one of these competitors.
Arnold
Allen is your favorite pick from Steve, man.
Let's go. I love Arnold Allen. And we don't see a lot of Arnold Allens on PT either, so I don't know if that's the right pick against Volk, because Volk was like a god on this game since the update, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. Volkanovski is a beast, and Arnold just doesn't look right. I put a picture of them together, the actual character.
Yeah, that's not Arnold.
Yeah,
that's not Arnold.
It doesn't feel like you play with Arnold either, so I'd like them to do that. But Volkanovski is a beast. He feels like Volkanovski. He feels like a meta pick. The combinations he throws really quick. He can attack the legs with a leg kick. His durability is fantastic. His recovery is amazing. Cyrus, he's a tough fighter. Probably the most complete fighter of the game.
Yeah, I would definitely see that argument. But he's got so many, the tools that he has, or the ones he really excels at, like his footwork. He just does. Does to a level that makes it difficult for anybody standing across him, no matter what the advantage or disadvantage is, for them to be able to, just to be able to hit the guy. He's constantly hitting you, but he's never really there to be hit in return. Arnold Allen's done a good job thus far. I'm sure you'll be happy to hear out JJ, as he continues to land with some combinations on the way in.
Shoots. Oh, he's got big.
Oh, wow, he denied a takedown. I was about to say, he has no stamina, he's on the ground. I would just let him go, because he don't have stamina.
Yeah, if he starts seeing that body, he's going to lose a bit of that body health pretty quickly with no stamina as well, J-Dan.
Yeah. And Volkanovski is like the trickiest fighter now in this division because of the 99 switch stance and the 99 footwork. So he's moving better than anybody.
Oh, that's it. That's dead.
Oh, it's over. And another contention for knockout of the night.
Why did he throw that? Why did he throw
the streak continues?
The streak continues.
The streak does continue. EK Capalotta does not take kindly to head kicks. He will duck that shit. He will send you to the land of wind and whispers. Proper Steve found that out real quick as his head did a full exorcist. It turns around. Oh. Look at that shit right there. That is. That's brilliant, bro. He exorcist.
Snaps his neck and then cries on the floor.
That hurt my heart.
Volkanovski, Jay Dyer is in tears right now. His boy's just been beat up badly. I love it. It makes this night, honestly, it feels like this night's only just started, but we've literally got 4 fights left.
Yeah.
And every fight of tonight's been a finish, guaranteed throughout. It's been incredible. And the next fight is very, very interesting, Cyrus. It is TT. It was my pick for the night, apart from those two main fights in Trixie. It was my pick for one of the best fights on the card. It's TT Hoo versus KIA Films. I got beat up a few weeks ago by KIA.
Did you call him KIA? Hold on. Did you call him KIA?
I did. Yeah. Kai Films, sorry. Kai Films. He beat me up, J Time. He beat me up on my feelings.
I know. You want him to lose right now.
I don't want him to lose, J Time. You put words in my mouth. I don't mind because he doesn't fight in sort of a manner which is bad, but he's a great fighter.
But let's be honest, Humble. If you lose to a guy, that you want that guy to do well, if anything, because it just speaks, it makes you look better, right? So like every win they get,
him, so win the belt. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's how Humble think. That's the right thing to say. I think that's the right thing to say. I think Humble wants him to lose every match from here because he got beat up by him.
No, that's not true. I promise you, I tell you. But no, I genuinely hope he wins. That makes me look better. But this is interesting. We're going to be getting a Sean O'Malley versus Henry Cejudo pick, which is one of the apparent scheduled fights coming up. Don't know if they've actually signed it yet, but Sean O'Malley, because Aljamain said they're going to do Sean O'Malley versus Cejudo. And obviously, if you think in your head, Cejudo's the Triple C, he's got that wrestling pedigree, and Sean O'Malley doesn't really have that wrestling pedigree. So you think Triple C might take him down, but really he's had like a 2.5 year layoff J Time and could come straight into a knee or something like that. So this could be a crazy fight we've got, and a crazy fight we're going to have to see right now.
Yeah, Henry Cejudo's been relaxing for 2 years. He's been eating his food, getting a little chubby. So it's not like, we're not going to act like he's just been training all this time. He's been trying to train the last year, but he's really just been laying on his couch like me. So for him to come back, as great as he is, it's going to be tough, Cyrus.
Oh, wow. Looks like he's switching up to Song Yudong.
Apparently, he had to pick Song Yudong beforehand and then was trying to change his pick, the sneaky devil.
Trying to play those mental, that mental warfare in the virtual octagon. I was going to say there's a bit of an added ripple to this. TT Hoo, who, of course, comes from a well-established camp within the PlayStation division. He is a former title challenger and has had sensational knockouts on his resume. But of course, Kai Films, I believe it was in the first season, actually was able to secure the primetime gold. Had been away for a little while now, and he's looking to make a big run back at it this season. Of course, Hoo is no better threat at the top end of that PlayStation division to see what's going to happen next in a very, very closely contended division at that there.
Yeah, 100%. And nice. Comes out with a kick to the body. There's some animosity. You can feel it. You can feel it, right?
I can see it. I can see the animosity.
The mind games beforehand, I tell you, it pisses people off when you're messing about with pictures. People don't like you to change the structure. They like organisation. If you mess with the structure, you can mess with them. And he's come out firing Hoo.
Oh my gosh, yeah, my bad, Cyrus, but he said that you can, what did he say, you can feel the animosity? You can see it. They're fighting at 100 miles per hour at the start of the match, Cyrus.
Definitely, and I will say, right, I think that Hoo kind of always fights like that. For my money, he's just like, 0 to 100, 0.1 sort of guy. But Kai Films, I mean, he has a bit of a marauding style, but he decided to wake up here this evening. He chose violence, meeting fire with fire every step of the way. He's not taking a back step at the moment.
He's walking it with a lot of shots though from TT Hoo, and this is kind of what I was doing well early against Kai, and then he starts picking up certain things. Expect him to try and pick up patterns. You see some head movement, there you go, right there, little stick, trying to get the straight to miss, and he's going to try to pick up on certain patterns who's throwing, and then you'll see him open up a bit more later on the rounds, just like that, J-Dan.
Yeah, you're right, but if I'm Sean O'Malley, don't fight with no ego. Keep wasting his stamina and keep throwing shots from a distance. Like, don't make him fall short for his combos.
Oh, the way that he is putting these together. I mean, damn, is he being answered back by Hoo. Every time he can, he just like unloads with combinations. But the way that Kai has marched him down, is basically staying in the pocket more often than not, looking to work in the body shots as well. It's been very difficult to deal with. You can see it.
It's like a Rocky movie right now, J-Dan. These two are just firing back. It's like almost like a movie rather than a fight. These two just firing at each other over and over again, catch each other clean, and then backing up, and then trying to feel the way in, throwing different combinations. It's been fantastic so far.
Yeah, and Sean needs to just swallow his ego and throw some feints because he got a stamina advantage. Just for the rest of this round, just keep picking your shots. Don't even fight at his pace, even though he's pressuring you. Make him fall short of these shots.
Oh my God!
Nice.
No, very astute read there, Jay. Sorry, I think that you're exactly right, brother. Try to utilize some of that range, especially. Obviously this fight has a lot on the cards, as you mentioned before. It Humble these higher kind of place fights, all at the top end of the rankings. Got rank number 5, rank number 8 right here, and they are fighting with everything on the line, and you can see how much it means for them to get that finish, and they're doing all they can to do so.
Well,
Exactly that, and Kai's got a good win streak as well. It doesn't matter if you kind of thought if you've gone on a good spot to number 8, you might come for loss, but he's got a good win streak, so he's going to try to press forward and Who now, and he's trying to catch him in the gaps. But how long has he got left before that stamina is blown out? We need to see it again. We need to see it.
We nearly seen it again, but to be real with you, Kai's doing a good job pressuring him, and Hu's not moving his head unless he's pulling. So he's getting hit with them shots, and Kai's been throwing the same combos when you get near him, but Hu hasn't made them adjustments at all.
Yeah, he's landed a couple of flying knees, and he's trying to weather the storm. My concern is whether or not his block will be able to stand the test of time. Of course, he's got an advantage, but that advantage only matters if he gets later on. All of these are landing!
Oh, yeah,
That's it.
Ooh, it's it. It's it.
Done. It is done. Stamina. What? There's no such thing. That combination. He threw by an 8-piece, did.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? I was worried about that for Sean because when you use Sean, you're supposed to rely on his footwork. He's relying on his block. He wasn't moving much. Your block is not going to hold up with Sean. Song Yadong's going to eventually break your block. And every time he pushed him, he was hurting him and breaking his block, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right, brother. He was burning it down. We saw it on his run to the championship. He has a marauding style.
Here I am, Cyrus. Come on, man. It was easy work. Easy work.
Sorry, you guys are ready for me. He turned his mic on in the background. He said, "Come on, Cyrus, let's go. This is easy work. You know what's coming." So words that we will see what happens next, brother. But this guy is now 5-1. Big things, brother. 5-1. Rank number 8. Rank number 5 is what he was fighting. Obviously, we will see where he ends up after the rankings come out. But obviously, a big win in his favor, and of course, a great feather in his cap. But once again, brother, the streak continues. The streak continues.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was such a good fight. I completely forgot about the streak.
Yeah,
that was a great fight.
Now, honestly, these two next guys, it's the first time that they've matched up. Of course, BFAP Dirrty has been around the top of the scene since day dot, man. Since day dot, he's one of the OGs of the community. Everything I said a little bit earlier on about keeping your name relevant, season after season, doesn't quite cut it unless you throw Trixie's name into that. He's the guy that represents that. He's been at the top of the game for the longest of times, continues to make advancements, continues to push back new and ever-changing threats, but he now has one of the fastest rising stars within primetime MMA on the Xbox scene. It is ranked number 7 in DB Concept. This guy has only ever dropped one fight. It was at the beginning of his run. I believe he's on a 4-fight win streak right now, trying, if he should get through Trixie here this evening, to get his first opportunity at primetime gold. This is a massive fight with huge implications, Humble.
Let's go. That's fucking brilliant. These two, like you said, you've never faced off. That's kind of an unusual thing for me to hear from you, Cyrus, when it comes to Trixie, just because the amount of fights he has in primetime and that division and the amount of people he's fought in primetime. Concept versus Trixie, first time it goes down, it's going to be very, very interesting. Trixie obviously trying to get that belt back. He's always got the belt usually for a period of time, a long period of time, drops it for a second. Only 2 blemishes this season and 11 wins. J-Time, and his 2 losses come in title fights. So the pressure's different, the implications different, the opponents are different. His 2 losses come against the best, essentially.
Yeah, and Trixie, if you want to be the best, you have to beat Trixie, whether he's a champion or not. He's like that stepping stone. It's like middleweight. I feel like you got to beat Robert Whittaker.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
and multiple times where you got to beat him multiple times, not just
Yeah.
once, because he comes back different every time.
So, I mean,
Exactly.
we spoke about Smudger winning fight on the Euro. Of course, Trixie did as well. Over the combined season so far, he has a record of 28-9, 25 knockouts. I mean, that is a record and a half. That's a record and a half. But George St. Pierre standing across from him, I mean, that shows that, of course, Concept is going to be willing to go absolutely anywhere this fight, needs to. But of course, I think that striking may be his best bet because Trixie has severely underrated ground skills that, obviously a lot of people do want to stay away from, I think, even though it's underrated.
100%. These two are... I'm liking the striking from George St. Pierre, maybe because it's just a bit more smooth from Concept, but Trixie is a master of adjustments. Don't believe he'll try and grapple too much. It's a 3-round fight as well, J-Dan. You've got to think about that. He's used to 5.
Yeah, because he's used to being the champion or being the contender. So this may be a change fighting 3 rounds again because you kind of have to speed up a little bit because you don't have that much time to work with, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably an age ago that this guy was not fighting in a main event spot. So, or at least 4 or 5 rounds. This is definitely going to be an adjustment. But of course, he normally starts a little bit slower in the first round. I feel like he is starting a little bit quicker here this evening as he gets that slip humble, although the counter was not quite there.
Yeah, he didn't quite catch him, like the registration didn't quite go through, but Trixie needs 1 or 2 of them. It'll be lights out. I can see this one being there going to the decision essentially just because of the position that they're in. These two are kind of taking the time. No massive shots have landed yet, but you can see it right there that the opportunity J to land a big shot is starting to appear for Trixie.
Yeah, he's starting to pick up his reads. He's starting to get a little more comfortable now. I'm scared if he gets comfortable in the first round because usually the second round is his best round.
Yeah.
If he got a great first round, it's going to be uphill.
Oh, nice check.
Nice.
Gosh.
Yeah, I mean, 25 knockouts, I believe something silly like 18 of those were in the second round. It's definitely his highest finishing round. And that's in a 5-round fight, so in a 3-round fight, you can only imagine that he's able to start going a little bit quicker. And you say humble, you're trying to put that bad juju out there saying that this fight, that you could see it going. I don't, brother, I don't. These guys, they are finish-hungry individuals. They got to these positions by getting finishes and getting them with a high percentage, as you can see them landing these shots right now, trying to look for the killer blow. It's just a healthy respect, I believe, in those first couple of minutes.
Yeah, 100%. And you've got to understand the implications of it as well, though. Like, we're talking about this streak that continues, but, Concept's first ever, how long has he been in prime time? Like, this season, maybe 4 months, something like that, and this is his first attempt at getting an opportunity to fight for the title, and he'll want to win it so badly. The pressure's there, and he's looking for any opportunity to try and get a finish here against Trixie, because Trixie is throwing a lot.
Oh my God.
You make mistakes, and Concept's coming forward. The uppercut lands. Oh, I thought he got him there.
If there was more time, bro. If there was more time.
Jesus.
Yeesh.
The nose is bust of Jorge Masvidal right now, Jay, going into this second round. Historically, Trixie's best round. You've got to imagine that he's going to be a little bit more reserved, I would imagine. Against what George was able to do at the end of that round, you don't want it to be repeated early in the second.
Yeah, you're right. And I was about to say before he had got stunned that George St. Pierre was landing some good counters on Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah, he was. He started, he landed that big shot for that hook right there. Like, he kind of knocked out Bisping with Cyrus, and he was training Freddie Roach with. That's a nice weapon for him to kind of just back to basic boxing, setting up the hook, setting up with the jab and some nice shots. But he got it from Trixie's aggression, essentially. But he also got it from taking the octagon control when he could control the distance for Trixie and him.
Yeah, I will say to you, brother, as you were saying that, I noticed a couple of things from Trixie where he was starting to get really into his rhythm, using stutter steps, but that confidence may be getting him caught as Concept getting dialed in more and more. Almost gets kneed in the face though, Jay. That was dangerous. Dangerous.
It was
the same shot.
But he keeps catching him with that. How crazy will be? He starts his year beating Trixie. Imagine he starts his year off beating Trixie.
This will definitely be an upset as well, a massive upset, because even though Concept's an amazing player, Trixie's just that guy in prime time. He barely loses, and he's never lost for this season. That wasn't a belt, so he couldn't lose a stat essentially as well, Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, look, this guy Trixie will never give up, man. He will never be out of a fight until you take him out of it. Concept
Oh,
right
he's
now, though,
out.
having a performance of his lifetime, able to get a rock on the feet, trying to capitalize with some grappling, which, quite honestly, is a bit ill-advised for my money, Jay. I wouldn't stay down here with him, but especially with the success on the feet, but maybe he knows something I don't.
Listen to me. Concept was ready for this moment. This is Trixie's best round historically, and Concept is beating him in this round. Like I said, it'd be great for him to start off the year with a W over Trixie, Humble.
Yeah, I was mentioning the importance of this fight. You know, that's why I said about because it's one of those fights where it doesn't really matter about that streak. You know what I mean? It's you want to win. He's put so much time and effort. People don't realize the dedication people put in this league, Cyrus, and the amount of time and effort it takes to get a title shot. And what you've got to go through to fight Trixie for a title shot is crazy. It's almost like winning a title.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, it's a for a lot of people it can be a little bit longer journey, but when you're putting together wins like Concept is, if he's able to get this one here, that would be the 5th straight win for this man, and this would be the biggest name that he would have to his name. He hasn't done it yet, Jay. He hasn't done it yet, but my God, is he starting out this fight in a really, really promising way.
Taking his time. This is an intriguing battle so far. You can see the foot has been taken off the gas slightly by GSP right there, but Trixie rallies back, J-Dime.
Yeah, that was a good finish to the round for Trixie, but he may be behind.
Potentially, I don't know about the first round. Or you get knocked down in the first?
Yeah, I think Concept is 2 up here. Bro.
Yeah, Concept is. Hey, how did that knee that knee grazed the side of his head? It gave him a haircut.
Saved by animation gods. Here we go.
Oh my God, man.
Oh my. No, now he needs a finish. He 100% needs a finish ASAP.
Yeah, he knows Trixie's not doing anything else. He's gonna try and.
Oh my! Beautiful.
Concept. Can he bank his ticket? Can he do it? Trixie,
Jesus.
Finishes him, and the streak continues.
And he gets his title shot for the first time, Cyrus. That's massive.
Yeah, like he has just secured himself an opportunity at the championship next time out. TMF or DB Concept. This guy has been chopping away, working his craft in the back with the DB boys for a long old time right now, and he is starting to put it all together, Jay. I mean, 5 straight wins, starting out 2023. I think you said it, brother. Starting out 2023 with adding Trixie to the list of his, to his victims. I mean, what a performance, and he did it everywhere. Striking, grappling, the lot kind of was on display here.
Ready.
Yeesh, that was crazy. That was a great performance, man. That's all I could say.
My God, that is crazy, Jay. Like, I'm in shock. That could be like shock of the year so far. Definitely so far. He's got to be like fighter of the night or performance of the night or something like that. Is mad. And Concept is he got his name now. He's going to be fighting the next fight, I believe it is. Cyrus is going to be fighting the winner of this fight for the belt. And he could be fighting essentially Trixie's teammate. So this BFAP Dirty Dave versus Chris is next. And it is for the Xbox Championship, Cyrus.
Yes, sir. Dirty Dave, former champion, has won the belt on a few occasions. Of course, this is a vacant title here this evening. He wants to secure that gold, believes that it should never have left his hands. Obviously, he has gone from Decision Dave to, what did we call him last time? Was it Destruction Dave? I can't remember what it was, but he has been landing a very high percentage of finishes as of recently, really implementing a full array of mixed martial arts. But that is something that is going to be needed against the, like I said, quickly rising talent that is DB Chris, undefeated. That camp's been running hot, Jay. The DB camp. You see their names all the way up in this main card at the moment and the like. But this guy doing it better than the rest. 4-0 undefeated. Now gets his first opportunity at Primetime Gold.
Just looks like we have a BFAP versus DB camp war. That's what it looks like to be.
The BFAP Dirrty. Yeah.
Hey, it looks like a camp war. That's what it looks like.
There's some camp wars going ahead. Like it is all about bragging rights. It is about putting your camp up where the appeal to bring new members in who are top players by constantly having top guys who are in these leagues and putting themselves out there. And that's exactly what both of these teams have essentially been doing. And now we're going to see an absolute beast of a matchup between Dirty Dave and Chris. And that you said undefeated, you know, you go in with some confidence. Confidence and momentum is key to fighting in general and key to fighting momentally on the game as well, Cyrus. But I wonder how confident you are when you're going up against Dirty Dave, because I wouldn't be that confident. I'm not going to lie.
Dang.
Well, I have to say, bro, like when you're undefeated, confidence, I don't think is a problem, Jay. I don't think that you wake up thinking today's the day that my O is going. You know, you believe that you're holding on to that thing forever. And, you know, he's got all of his wins by finish. He is adept at finding the mark to turn his opponent's lights out. He's going Sugar Sean O'Malley, who is entertaining as they come in that octagon, has a number of finishes to his name as well. But, of course, standing across from him, Marab. I mean, I think Dave's planning on grappling here, brother. I think he's planning on grappling a bit.
Hey, listen, Humble just said, if I'm fighting Dave, I wouldn't be confident. Why wouldn't you be confident? Why? Why wouldn't you be? He's another man just like you.
Even in the back of my mind, I know how skillful he is. I know how good he is. You know, there's so much that he does in the grappling, the spears. You've got to watch out for it all. It's kind of like all that together is going to be tough to kind of overcome. But we've just seen Concept take out Trixie, his teammate. How is that going to affect him as well, Cyrus? How does that sort of trauma of watching your teammate get knocked out, who's not usually getting knocked out, and their friends, that kind of affect you going to your performance?
Very, very true. But I mean, for me, at least a little bit, Dirty Dave has that sort of kind of. I mean this positively. American Psycho vibe to me. I don't think that his emotions will ever come into play when it comes to his fighting style. This guy has a calculated approach to the fighting game, and you can already see he's allowing Chris to walk onto him right now. And Chris is doing good at landing shots, Jay, but he has to be careful not to walk on it a little bit too much because Marab does hit fucking hard, bro.
I wasn't worried about him hitting hard. I was worried about that right there. Him taking him down.
He's down now. And there's like many people who put in the chat now, they always do. During Dirty Dave performance, they'll say the round is now over. Once they get you on the ground, a lot of people, the number one usual in the chat is the round is now over. And he manages to get a massive point there because he gets back to his feet. I thought he's been doing a good job with his jab and his basic fundamentals with the hook as well, the lead hook.
Yeah, he has been working with fundamentals excellently. And it's something that I'd say the DB boys as a whole have really been, really excelling at is the fundamentals in a game where people are trying to get a little bit too flashy. They still have that in their back pocket, but they know that the traditional striking is what got them to the dance, and obviously it's paying dividends for him, Jay.
Yeah, but Sean isn't doing bad. Sean's looking pretty decent right now, but I feel like Dave is trying to let him get comfortable. He's going to shoot real soon once he feels like it's going to be a striking match, Humble.
Yeah, he's going to pick his opportunities. Well, he's not an idiot. Like, he will take his time, like something like that, and then kind of all hurt you and then kind of take you down. But this is tough because you can't keep taking those double jabs. Those double jabs are going to add up. It's going to get tougher to kind of take them as they go on, and he's going to be able to mix them up with other shots as you're trying to evade them as well. So Dave, it's kind of a race against time at the moment to get some control and get some pressure off, because the way Chris is fighting, he's doing a fantastic job of putting himself in a good position for later in the fight.
He is. I will say one thing that Dirty Dave has been doing, though. He's been targeting that right leg of Sean. You can already see the damage starting to mount up. He did actually get a switch of stance out of Chris momentarily, but he doesn't seem to be too comfortable fighting in the orthodox position, so went back to southpaw. Lovely little takedown defense, though, Jay.
Yeah, Sean isn't looking bad right now. He has to keep this on the feet by any means. Keep the fight in the middle of the cage, too. You control and dictate the pace. Don't let Dave dictate the pace, because you'll end up on the cage like that on the ground.
Very good round there for Chris, in my opinion. Very, very good round for Chris. He kind of got up when he got taken down. He done the majority of the damage on the feet. The leg's obviously going to be a problem, but he's got 100 switch times, I believe, or 99 switch times, Sean O'Malley, so you can fight in both. And sometimes people, I'll stand in one stance, let them kick the leg for head damage just because I can play from both. So you get that sort of comfortable sort of feeling of, okay, when you get there, you're going to have bad low head health, and I think Dave will probably recognise that as well.
Yeah, I feel like just the way he's fighting with it, Chris maybe just doesn't feel as comfortable in the other positioning, but that sort of worry about that leg now is kind of settling into his head, I believe, and it's allowing Dirty Dave to be a little bit more proactive with the takedown as well as he gets that early in the second round, Jade.
That's it.
And it looks like he's going to be willing to try and work the ground and pound slowly but surely as he looks to try and advance position.
Yeah, this is Dave's game, but while they was on the feet, I was about to say Sean needs to try to work Dave's body, throw some body knees when you're up close, just to stop him from trying to take you down. Give him something to worry about. But now we're here, Humby.
Nice work, though, and he's done a good job.
Nice.
Right there, he really took his time. Didn't make him his decision wrong. He faked some transitions on Dave. Dave kind of bit, I believe, or he didn't deal with it, and now you got Sean O'Malley and Mountain. He's got a denial, and what a statement this would be if Chris decides to start unloading some ground and pound. Dave usually sound from here, takes a few shots and goes to his back.
I mean, the flat out is going to be there, but I would imagine he's not going to go for it because, of course, Dirty Dave being the cowboy he is going to be all over that. Chris is going to be pretty happy, I would imagine, to work him back to his feet, although he does try to get the Mac return. The defense stands true to Dirty Dave.
Back to the feet, and the jab starts to continue. He's not let off on it, J-Time. Dirty Dave will be looking to counter that sooner or later because he can't keep letting it hit his block.
Yeah, Chris looks good, though. Them DB boys, they are not playing today.
Going first this time.
I mean, I think they want 2023 to be their year. They had a big rise in 2022, but 2023 is maybe the year they look to take over.
Oh man, why'd you say it was maybe their year, Cyrus? Why you say that, Cyrus?
This mouth.
Thought we were crowning the first Xbox champion of 2023 right there. But Dave doesn't quite get the finish, gets his back taken. A dangerous position right now, but obviously he can't. We still got the rear naked choke band, and he can't go for that, so he knows there's only kind of top mount that he's going to go for, maybe. Back to backside.
Oh.
100%. Now back to it. The stamina starting to change slightly.
Ooh. Very, very right. But I think that honestly, all of those exchanges actually only feel benefiting O'Malley. It's another combination to close out that round. Obviously got sacked down once, but I do want to see the stats because I believe he got some stuns a little bit earlier on in that round.
Are you ready?
Why don't y'all? That should be a rule. People gotta show stats after every round.
Yeah, he did get a stun in the round. I think they knocked down and nearly finished the fight, so he did really well. But like I said earlier in the first round, the way Chris is fighting, it's almost like I'm trying to get a finish third or fourth, so he's setting himself up in a good position later on in the fight, and that's where Dave really excels as well. So it's not a bad strategy just not to go for a finish early, just to concentrate on the basics to edge it down and get ahead.
Yeah, because you have 5 rounds to work, but I want to see how he reacts if Dave were to get a stun here, because I want to see how the challenger reacts. I want to see, does he keep his composure, Cyrus?
Yeah, I mean, right now you see that he is going back to the fundamentals, landing the jab, landing the hooks, the uppers get through as well. Brother, the amount of times he's getting that stun mark, he just needs the finishing touches out here, Humble.
You're going to see now what Chris is made of, because Chris could rush in and try and get a finish, and that's where Dirty Dave's dangerous. If you rush in on Dirty Dave, sometimes he can use it to take you down, or use it to fight back and hurt you and take you down. So you've got to be smart, like J-Time's saying right now, and Dirty Dave is trying to catch his opportunity, but Chris, great composure. Say that.
And great.
Double change. He turned angles twice on him.
Nice work. That's a beautiful transition.
Sheesh. It looked like he wanted
to the knee bar. He's going for the knee bar to win the belt. Can he do it? Dirty Dave is going for it. Stand elbow in the back. This is it. Dirty Dave is going to win the championship against Chris. He's got it locked in. He's going to get the opportunity to fire this forward, and it's going to get stronger. It is over for Sean O'Malley. It is fully stretched.
The knee bar.
And the brother. Dirty Dave does it!
I knew! BFAP's Dirty Goddamn Dave Don't say that this man gets decisions. He gets finishes. Each year. I mean, come on, brother. In a title fight, this guy pulls off the knee bar.
Nobody was expecting it. That's why he expected the unexpected with Dirty Dave. Like, he just pushed it. He knew straight away. He knew in his head exactly what he wanted to go for.
He knew what he wanted. Wow.
That's crazy. Submission of the night.
Bro, that is right. I will be surprised if somebody beats that for submission of the goddamn year. Like, we are 14 days in.
Yo.
We are 14 days into 2023, and this guy pulls off a knee bar. A goddamn knee bar. In a title fight. That is craziness, especially in a fight that he was getting clipped in. Let's not forget, Chris was doing fantastic. He was doing fantastic. He was looking like he may become the first DB champion.
That's how it sucks for him because he was doing so well. You know, he's a teammate got a win on Trixie earlier, and he was doing well, and the momentum was in his favour. And then for that to happen, like, I didn't even realise that was an option for him for a second. I completely forgot my zone down. And as soon as Dirty Dave didn't zone out, Dirty Dave kept his hopes up throughout the fight. He knew he was going to have an opportunity at one point, and he only needed one. And that's exactly what he did to become the first champion of 2023 for the Xbox division.
Yes,
Incredible.
Incredible, exactly right, brother. And next weekend, Dirty Dave will look to defend that belt against, of course, Chris's campmate, DB Concept, that beat, like you said, Dirty Dave's campmate in Trixie, the former champion. So all still to play for the DB camp, but BFAP reigns true here this evening in the Xbox division. It sets us beautifully up as the streak continues, lads. As the streak goddamn continues, we're going to be on to the main event of this evening. It is the one and only, the legendary NM Smudger taking on ranked number 4, B3 WordLife. This man is undefeated, 4-0 in the PlayStation division, and he comes in here with all of the confidence humble that his team has already been able to get W's, the only guys to get W's over Smudger. And of course, he believes that he has the skills to add to that list here this evening and get the gold back into the B3's name. On the last fight for a little while for NM Smudger, the champ who has not relinquished that belt for some time.
100%. Is this? You said this is Smudger's almost retirement fight for a while. Is that right?
So he's not retiring. He's taking a sabbatical. Let's say that he's taking a little bit of a break away. Of course, it's been active competition. He's put on a sensational run in 2022. Of course, I mentioned it a moment ago about Trixie, so I'll pull up the stats for him as well. NM Smudger, 22-3 across the 2 seasons, 11 title defenses, 22 knockouts. So 22 fights, 22 knockouts. This guy stamps.
They say, well, we've seen one fighter of the year fall this evening. Are we going to see another? And when you're going to take a break, usually it's because of some work or something like that. But at the same time, maybe, who knows? If I'm WordLife right now, I'm trying to retire the champion. You know, you don't want Smudger back if you're WordLife because you want to be a dominant champion in prime time. And the best competition so far has been clearly Smudger. But WordLife hasn't had a shot at it yet. He's 4-0. He comes from a great camp. And also, I mentioned it earlier, he's one of the most competitive players on the scene, Cyrus. We see a lot of players that come through and kind of play only in prime time, but he's one of the most, he's a very competitive player in ESFL and other leagues as well. He does very, very well. So this guy knows what it's like to be under the bright lights.
Yeah.
But Smudger has been champion for a reason.
Smudger's exactly the same, bro. He there isn't a crevice of the UFC 4 community that he has not been ruling on the PlayStation side for a little while now. 2022 was truly his year. He believes the 2023 ultimately will be as well, and he had a little bit of a message going into this fight that he wanted us to know about on comms, and of course you guys at home to hear as well. We spoke about, of course, everything that WordLife has brought to the table. He's been hungry for this fight. He was promised it before the holiday period, and of course now he finally gets that opportunity. And between now and then, he's obviously been talking a little bit and hyping up the fight, stating that he believes he has all of the tools and the like. Smudger has come back saying that this guy has been talking a lot of shit, and now is the time for him to pay. He is going out within 2 rounds. That is what Smudger said, and you wouldn't believe it. WordLife predicts also 2 rounds, and this man's going to sleep. So,
guys, I'm going to say as well, before we go into this one, the streak has continued until now. We just haven't talked about it in a while. We have not had a decision tonight. I don't think this is going to go a decision with what their predictions right now, J-Time. This has been Primetime 81, and I think we should get this PlayStation Championship underway.
Yeah, this is not going to be a decision. We're going to end this off right. The streak will continue. Here we go.
Brother.
Let's go.
With the trash being talked. Look, this fight has so many ripples to it, brother. It has the whole, like, the only camp to beat the champion has been B3. The fact that Smudger has been able to right that every single time, and he has been able to get any fight that he has lost, he's been able to win it back, right? But now he's going into this potentially his last fight for a little while. It's not 100% confirmed, but pretty much, 100% that he is going to be taking a little bit of a break after this one, maybe some sporadic performances. So he wants to go out on top. He doesn't want to drop this now, especially not against the guys that have been at his neck, the only guys that have been able to beat him in the past. He wants to prove that point and do it in a big way with a finish like he claimed going into the second round. We'll see if it's Mystic Smudger on our hands, on
100%. And when he goes out as well, if he wins the belt tonight and then goes out, obviously he's going to be giving the belt up, but also going out on top, Cyrus. So when he comes back, he can say, I went out on top, no one actually beat me. You guys are fighting for that belt that's not real because I'm here. And when he comes back, he's got that statement. On the other hand, WordLife, he wants to make this as competitive as he can. He wants to not let Smudger get into his zone, and that's the boxing combinations. That's those sneaky little shots and pull elbows, J-Time. You can't let him get there.
So, did you just call Smudger John Jones, basically, where it don't matter if DC got the belt, he never beat me for the belt, so he's not really the champion.
He's in that position right now. He's in the exact same position. And obviously, as well, he can prevent WordLife from fighting for the belt again, essentially, when it gets put on, onto the thingy, if he dominates his fighting position too.
This is scary. I don't even talk much. This just go.
The intensity's high, bro. The danger is so present. You can see that these guys, it's about the timing of the shots. The kicks obviously go a long way. Everything else, the power and so on, the stats that they have. But you can see the taunts are in there. They're knocking the slip and the ring. Bro. Smudger's not dialed in, though. Those pull counters are there.
He's confident. He's really confident. You can see it in the movement, the language, whereas at the moment WordLife's jittery, he's coming into the fight, he's trying to find his distance. He's not made any mistakes yet, and that's the key, but at the same time he's kind of getting caught a few times, J-Time, which you could see that sometimes one of those shots could turn into a big sort of rock.
Yeah, but this is scary because they're both two hard hitters, and one shot can change momentum. One stun can change all of this.
Honestly, bro, the little taunts. Smudger has done it maybe 5 times right now. He lands a good combination, he throws up a taunt and he cancels it. He is vibing out there. WordLife is not the guy to be mucking about with those, so I know Smudger knows this. Honestly, bro, it's edgy, a seat sort of action. I don't know which way this is going to go. The finishes are bloody strong with these two guys.
This is the thing, though, talking the trash in the back and stuff, it makes you more anxious to fight the opponent. Making you more anxious can make you stiff a little bit. So it's actually good sometimes to talk crap. The art of war, essentially, J-Time. You talk a bit of crap and your opponent stiffens up slightly and doesn't essentially throw the shots they're used to throwing. That's what Smudger's trying to do. And WordLife's trying to dial in, he's trying to get into the comfortable zone where he feels like he can take the belt and find a weakness.
Yeah, 2 exchanges ago, WordLife had success. Whoa. He did the fake takedown. He did the takedown.
Into a fake takedown, into a clinch.
Yeah, I call that the fake down. He did the fake down into it. It's crazy.
Giving his opponent more things to worry about as well with that takedown there, Cyrus, as we talked about earlier this evening. It's such a different weapon as well.
Starting to open up. You can see from Volkanovski right now, he went for a couple of head kicks, has to be careful from the return counters from Smudger, but that's an intense round out here, Jay. Back and forth action, both guys having their moments.
Yeah, I want to see the stats though. That's what I want to. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
That's close as it gets.
I need to point out though, that both of these guys predicted finishes in the next round. They both had some choice words for each other, Cyrus, going to the next one. And I believe there was something about making him pay. Is that right, in the next round?
That is exactly right. He said he's been talking a lot of shit, and this is the fight. This is the moment that he now has to pay. Like I said, WordLife has been biting at the bit for this for the longest of times, brother. It was mid-December, early December even, that he had earned this opportunity. He'd been on this sidelines and until now training. So these guys have known that this fight was happening for some time, and they've obviously had a lot of time to prepare for each other. There's a lot of footage out there on both guys, and you can see that playing out in front of us out here, Jay, because they're making great reads on each other, catching each other with massive combinations.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is scary. Like, I'm just, his head helped. He was one shot. If he didn't pull out, he was one shot away. He was one shot away. You started blinking. That's crazy.
He's landed some. There's little pockets of things that are happening in each combination, in each sort of sequence when they're engaging, when they're not engaging, then like the exit here, things like that. There's just little things, the subtle things that are happening. Those little fake takedowns coming from WordLife. There's so much going on right now. It's really hard to concentrate and obviously commentate as well. It's difficult, Cyrus, because it's such a good fight. There's so much happening.
100%. 100%. I have to say, those little takedowns, as you call it, Jay, I think the only other person I've seen do them is somebody like Caliber. There's not a lot of people mix it up like that. And it really, really does keep your opponent guessing. You can see that Smudger's hands have been flickering down and setting up these headshots. WordLife knows what he's doing, bro. He's working his game. But he gets caught!
Yeah, that's right when you said that he got caught. Yeah, this is a great match. Ooh, that was, ooh.
Oh, nice work. Oh, that's him. Oh, maybe rushing it essentially. Cyrus going to get the air put on the break, and WordLife is an excellent finisher, but he decides to kind of back off right there. Goes for the takedown.
That's
good work.
Yeah.
Great work, Jay.
That was on Smudger. Did you see what he did? He did. He tried. He did a taunt and it.
Perfect work. You punish your opponent for the mistakes, and this is the thing. Maybe it's starting to backfire now for Smudger. The animosity, the sort of the things that they've said to each other, because he's trying to show off. He's trying to overcompensate for the animosity they've got, and WordLife's now starting to capitalize on Smudger's mistakes.
And we actually have Bang Bang on the heads over at Bang Bang Bullies, of course. Actually in the chat saying that he, good fight so far, but WordLife is only vibing at this stage. He doesn't even think he's got out of the gates yet, so that's a scary thought. Although Smudger is there every step of the way, bro. He's in his face, trying to pop him with that jab, trying to come around the corner with something big.
Yeah, he definitely isn't. There we go. 43 seconds left in the second round. Saudi says he's going to finish him. He is which is going to power. Is he going to end the PlayStation champion? Yes,
my
God. He's dodged it. He survives. He survives.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. I thought he had it. His head looked where he was gone. He's still going for it.
Well, not through any lack of trying. They make it out the second round. Mr. Humble Ding. My God, the action is non-stop here this evening. 100% finish rate. These guys in the final fight of the card, leaving it all in the octagon. We're only like, what was that? The second round? Was that only the second round? We have 5.
Yeah.
Give us all 5. Give me a decision this fight. How about that? Give me a decision this fight. I don't mind. This fight is crazy. This fight is crazy. Yeah, this is a great fight. I can't wait for this round, Jay.
I'm just watching as a fan right now. Just watching this great fight.
It's really hard not to. Nice work. Look at that. Beautiful. Gets the denial back to the feet, Jay. Down.
One sequence could change this all.
That it can. And obviously these guys, more of attrition, really, kind of playing out in front of us. We actually have the one and only, the man that writes the intros for us, Reaper himself, in the chat saying, so you want to be a fighter? I mean, look, these guys fighting just like that, bro. They're fighting like, well, like the title's on the line, which it is, bro. Which it is.
100%. That whole concept came from that Ultimate finale with Stephen Bonner and Forrest Griffin. Rest in peace, Stephen Bonner, by the way. And that what started the company in prime time seems to be no different. We are growing. We are getting bigger. We are getting better, Cyrus.
Whoa! Oh my! Volk with the spinning
and new and freaking new B3 WordLife. The spin to win. the Beyblade. He gets the elbow. Lights out. Oh, god damn, it's hard to see Smudger go like that, but fuck, man, what a knockout.
I'm still in shock. I've hurt my mouth without the timing.
He timed.
Man.
He timed.
Man, he drops the new championship.
He timed the NM special, man. He timed the slip hook perfectly.
Ladies and gentlemen,
holy crap. New champion, and obviously commiserations to such a fantastic champion for us, Smudger, and I've got to say, one of the best PlayStation comebacks I think we're ever going to see on this. I can't wait for him back, because him coming back, that's going to be crazy in the future. Now WordLife's got the impossible task, Cyrus, of defending that belt and going through the PlayStation division, but he won it with probably knockout of the night. That was one of the best knockouts you can get against such a good opponent as well.
Hey,
so
19.
You're right, Jim. You're right, brother. 100% finish rate throughout the entire card. That is going to continue, bro. That is going to continue. I'm telling you, it ain't stopping anytime soon.
Crazy.
I do want to take the opportunity real quick, though, as you were really saying a moment ago there, Humble. Smudger has been a fantastic champion throughout 2022, an incredible competitor to be able to put on these fights, and have him a part of. We look forward to seeing him back whenever he decides to, is the time, I suppose, to get back into the esporting scene. Until then, of course, though, B3 WordLife able to do it in style, getting just everything that he said he was going to. It was a round later than he thought, but that spin, I mean, it might have been the first time he threw it as well. He picked his time, he got it. Just craziness, bro. And I'm honestly almost speechless with it.
I am still.
That was nice.
Because it was such a close fight, and then it wasn't. It's just over in one shot. Just one shot. It wasn't like he rocked him, hurt him, just slipped and bang, got him with that one dangerous shot. Jay Diamond he knew he was looking for an opportunity where he could finish him, and that's exactly what he did. And Smudger obviously was being overly aggressive as well, Cyrus. I don't know if you noticed that as well. He's definitely been over aggressive. But look at that. Bang. He wasn't even looking at him, but he's like looking back at the crowd and waving to his daughter like that was crazy. Jesus. I was just thinking about the fights of the night, all of these things tonight, because obviously we're going to do that. That's got to be knockout of the night. I'm going to kind of override. I'm going to use my commentator's privilege to say that was knockout of the night, no matter what anyone else says. There's no one arguing me that that's knockout of the night. Sorry.
Well, I mean, look, we are about to start getting word from the back. Throughout the course of this evening, they have been keeping track and keeping tally of all the statistics, so we will read them as they come. Submission of the night, of course, is going to Dirty Dave. Knockout of the night, in all capitals, is going to WordLife. Then we have performance of the night. They're giving it out. They're giving out the double for performance. We've got Moolah and triple even. First time I've ever heard this. They're obviously feeling generous with the 100% finish rate. They had to go out there. Performance of the night, Moolah, Frosty MMA, and Dave. Fight of the night, Right versus Ballon, and Smudger versus Word. I mean, honestly, you could have thrown any one of them in there. So many fights to pick for. Not all of them can get it, but for Primetime 81, guys, this has been an emotional night of fights. We cannot wait to get back at it next weekend, Saturday, 8:30 p.m., 8:30 p.m. UK Standard Time, 3:30 Eastern. We will be back at it. More action. Let the knockout streak continue, or the finish streak continue. Until that one, much love. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.